What's up, guys? Welcome to Real Estate Podcast, episode 224. I'm here with Griffin.
And I'm here with Adam.
That's right. We kicked Travis out.
the day has finally come.
Trav had a family function to attend.
Yeah. And I might not be as lively.
Griffin may not be alive, so we gotta.
yeah, I might not for real, dude. I'm birthing a stone out of my urethra as we speak, so it's the first time it's ever happened, and I hope it's the last time that it's ever gonna happen because it's very painful.
Did they recommend breathing classes? You know, like
yeah. One of the medicines the woman gave me, she's like, you might want to take this at bedtime. And I'm like, why? And she's like, because it's going to make your blood pressure bottom out. And I'm like, then why the fuck are you giving it to me?
What is that? Like some kind of beta blocker?
It's that Flomax stuff that's supposed to help you pee better.
But it bottoms your blood pressure?
Yeah.
It's kind of dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, she said that since I'm already on blood pressure medicine and I take it in the morning, that it should be fine. And I'm like, okay.
Should be.
She's like, you don't have heart problems, do you? I'm like,
not
I
yet.
might after this is over. Yeah. Like, shit, you know, I don't know. So we'll see how it goes, though. I mean,
well, you know,
so
it's the
far,
little things, man.
It is the little things, man.
Pretty soon you're going to piss out one.
Yeah, I'm going to frame it. I told Marina
I was going to take it in your office.
Well, I was going to have her a necklace made.
Yeah.
Because her birthday's tomorrow. So I was just going to like put some epoxy and drop it down in there and then put it on a chain, you know?
Nah, dude, listen, tier 1 sub. You get the fucking scan of that thing and you 3D print.
Just a shitload of them?
Yeah. And it comes on a little stand. It's like, you know, Griffin's first kidney stone. It's got the date. And then since you can't give everyone the kidney stone, what you could do is take a little sliver of the kidney stone and just crush it up in the dye for the thing, you know.
Yeah.
That way you know how you put blood and stuff?
Yeah.
The Kiss record. It's like, yeah, they didn't really do that. Come on.
Yeah. Little Nos.
Well, I'm pretty sure if you were in there, dude, letting a guy just bleed into the fucking vat full of record gel.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna be like, we gotta shut this place down. Has this guy been tested for anything? Like what?
It was the 70s though.
Yeah, it was.
It's a little bit of a different time period there, you know?
Yeah.
So, but it's the little things, man.
Little things.
That
y'all finally watched it.
Yeah, and I've been kind of holding out because I figured at some point we would get around to it on the podcast. And I started to watch it like earlier because, you know, the old lady is into the whole murder porn thing.
Yeah.
So I figured that she would, you know, it would be something that she would enjoy and that she would gravitate to. And boy, did she!
Yeah, did she like it?
Yeah, she really enjoyed it.
It was good.
She finally knows what Zell means. You know?
Were you like, that's Zell?
Yeah.
When he came on screen?
I'm like, there
she's
he
like,
is,
the deputy? It's like, he's a deputy now. He used to be a private investigator.
Yeah, he's a detective. Don't worry. It's Zell. He's fucking John Q over here, you know? So, I mean, yeah, let's break that down. Like, the movie opens and it's just like, it takes place in the 90s. We get that little shot of that chick.
B-52's Rome.
Yeah.
Playing loud as fuck on the radio.
Yeah.
This is the opening when the chick's driving.
Yeah, and that car comes up on her.
Yeah.
And then like
let me ask you something.
Her. All right.
Why did she pull over and get out of her car?
Well, if it's me and the gas station or the restaurant
clearly
is
closed.
Open, yeah, there's no way I'm going to stop. I'm not running out of gas. There's no danger there.
Just keep driving.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not going to want to total their vehicle either.
No, because they would get caught.
Yeah.
So, like, she just wasn't thinking with the right head, dude. She was thinking with murder head, you know? And that murder head will get you every time.
Yeah.
But we see some very ominous shots here of like somebody opening a trunk, and we see some
Tape,
glove action. Yeah,
some
a duffel
rope.
bag. Yeah. Um, and then, he chases her through. Like, here's my thing too. Like, if I'm there and this place is closed,
Get back in your car.
well, first, yeah, but he took the keys out of it
Well, but he
when
did
he
that
got
after she
there.
ran off.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she
So,
was running while he was like
yeah,
willy nilly getting stuff out of the trunk.
yeah, no pressure. He's just like taking his time. Um, why didn't she break a window?
I don't know.
I mean,
She just
because
took
if
off
you think of,
running. It's like, well,
yeah,
now you're in, you know,
in the desert.
yeah. Before you were in your car
Yeah,
and
and you were
in your
safe.
car.
Yeah, but now you're running through the desert
Yeah.
with, like, probably flip-flops on.
It probably looked better on paper. And
Yeah,
then I was sitting there watching that and I was thinking that. I was like, why did she get out of her car? And I'm like, I bet when they wrote that, they were like, yeah, this is what happens. Because, it's just the beginning of the
yeah,
movie. She's got to get away. It's like she could have used her car to get away. She didn't even see the guy, really.
no,
I mean, so she was
yeah,
no help.
no.
Um,
And my thing too is, like, she gets away, like, that truck stops and
yeah,
everything,
I
but,
thought it was
like,
going to hit her.
I did too.
I
I
was
was
like,
like, "Damn,
uh-oh.
what a way to open the movie," you
Yeah.
know? Um, but my thing is, like, what came of that, though? Like, I don't
That's the
remember them
girl they bring in later.
Yeah,
The
that's right,
girl that
yeah.
spots him.
Yeah,
Now, how did they fuck that up? See, the reason, and then they can't using her because she saw him there.
yeah,
And they were just like,
and
who fucked it up? That's why they were like, all right, the hallway's clear, bring him out.
yeah,
And she just happens to be sitting there tying his shoes when he walks through. He gives her a look,
yeah, like, "You
but he
fucking
gives
bitch."
everybody a look.
Yeah,
He says, how's the trunk space?
yeah. His low and slow,
Yeah,
like, I loved it. I love, Leto's character, like, and he's good in pretty much everything, right? I
yeah,
mean, that's a given. He's usually great, but, like, I've never really seen him play like that type of, serial killer type role. Um, and that's the biggest drawback from the movie, in my opinion,
yeah.
was they should have got to him sooner.
Yeah, I wish it
They
would have
should
had
have
more of him.
Yeah, they should have made that connection sooner, and they should have drug it out a little bit longer because they do waste a lot of time watching him.
Yeah,
And if they would have written, and I know that it's a little bit unrealistic where this would have happened, but if they would have written in like one or two more interactions with both of the characters prior to the the interaction to where he takes them into the middle of nowhere
well, how
and all
creepy
that
was
plays out.
the one interaction where Zale starts to follow him
Mhm.
and he takes him out there to that mile marker where they found the dead bodies. And
Yeah,
nobody
yeah,
knows that. The press doesn't know that.
yeah,
That was never released, and he knew.
yeah,
He's just fucking with him.
yeah,
Carried
just
him out
fucking
to the
with
mile marker. Like this dude know
Yeah,
he can't be caught. He
yeah,
knows it. They got no evidence. He's clean.
yeah,
But whenever he takes him out there, dude, the first time I'm watching that, I've seen this movie 3 times now. Because I
yeah,
watched it, then I watched it with someone, and then made sure to watch it again. I was like, let me brush up. I
yeah,
could have phoned it in, but watched it today on the Plex, hashtag
yeah,
Plex.com. Uh, he takes him out there, then he's like on the side of the road, and he goes past him, and then he stops, and he's like, I'm gonna back up. And I'm like, you're not allowed to do that, first of all, and you're a cop, and you should
no,
know that.
and he's not even standing on the side of the
No,
road, he's
dude,
in the
going
middle
around a
of the road.
curve backwards.
Yeah, it's like, fuck,
But
dude.
he gets back there, and the dude's on the other side of the road now.
Yeah,
And he stops and then he looks over there and it's like, whoa, what kind of mind game is this? The
yeah,
dude peels out in that fucking Nova. Nova was
yeah,
pretty sweet, wasn't it?
I know,
Peels
dude, it was
out, comes around, comes up beside him, and he says, how's the trunk space?
yeah,
And then he like points at him and taps his heart and just drives off.
yeah,
Zale's got his
just
gun
hauls
in his
ass.
hand. He's like, kind of weird
Uh-huh.
shit. So that was like, that let him know. He's like,
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
that mile marker? There just
yeah,
happened to be a fucking payphone everywhere there needed one to be.
I
There
know.
was a
Well, I mean,
payphone at that mile marker.
yeah, Well,
And then the one in
it
front
was
of
the
his house.
90s. Yeah.
I mean, I remember
They had to
payphones, and you had to go
yeah.
to a store or something.
Well, to me, what it seems like is they wrote the film as a present day thing,
Yeah,
and then somebody's like, "Let's make it a period piece
yeah,
and
it
go
needed
back
to
to
be pre-cell
1990."
phone. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
they didn't even have like phones.
No,
You know.
like pagers and shit,
Yeah.
that's it.
So it could have been
Yeah,
even earlier than that. Now she was listening to that song in the '90s. So
yeah. Well, and the dude, had a pager, right?
that's right. He
A
was beeping.
beeper or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
When he came
Classic
out of that
beeper.
house, he looked at it and was like, "Fuck."
Yeah,
He goes and picks dude up, and he's like, "I got something you need to see." They did a good
yeah.
job. Their chemistry
Yeah, their chemistry
together.
was great. And you see, like, Denzel taking taking his own kind of fascination with the case,
Yeah.
and then also recognizing what he did to himself
Yeah.
in this other
Well,
character,
this
and
guy did the same thing.
yeah, exactly,
It's a
yeah,
little different, but because he shot the bad guy,
yeah,
Denzel shot the girl, and they show you right at the end. They show that happen, and it's like, oh fuck, that's fucked up.
yeah,
When the woman takes the bullet out, she's like a multiple stab wounds. That's what I'm putting down.
yeah,
And then it cuts to
and the
him there with that dead body, and it's like they're fucking the same, dude.
yeah, they are.
That's why he's like, I'm gonna take care of you.
Yeah,
You
don't
still got
worry
a
about the
family.
yeah,
Let me help you out here.
yeah,
He's like, he's dead. He's gonna rot in the ground.
yeah. Well, and I don't know if it's like this in real life or not. And I know that like unless you live in a very populated area, there's not always like crime and murder and things like that happening. But the way that they always portray like detectives is like they invest their entire life into whatever case is going on. And it's like, well, how can you realistically have a family
Yeah.
and have all of this if that's your life? Because if we go back and like Site
I
7
was
and
gonna
like
say
other
seven.
detective
Like
yeah,
same situation. He's over there with the young guy.
yeah,
She wants to
exactly,
move
yeah,
out to the country, but he
yeah,
won't leave. It was the same. It's almost like they got,
yeah,
that scene
right,
where he's like, I still owe you breakfast. And I would have been like,
yeah,
oh, you gonna take me to your house? Because
yeah,
that's like
right, like, what
that's a,
yeah,
if they're bringing, if your partner's bringing you to the house,
yeah,
they kind of
sign
like
of
you.
good
You don't want to
faith,
let you meet my
yeah,
family.
yeah, um, but it's crazy, like, and I love how they showed those parallels, and you see all these experiences that they both have collectively shared up to a point, like, you see the things play out in real time with Freddie Mercury, but, it's of course happened in the past with Zell, and it's like, the parallels that they draw from that, and the story actually being about the fact that, like, it's not about them catching the killer
Yeah,
or solving the case, it's more about, like, Zell saving him
yeah.
and saving his
They help
humanity.
you find yourself.
Yeah,
No
and I thought that
angels. How
yes,
cool was that?
that was fucking awesome.
And
Yeah.
then when you see like, oh, like he did that to like save him, because he was sitting there thinking about it,
Yeah,
thinking
dwelling
about the
on it.
girl, his kids swimming in the pool, looking at him like, what's wrong with him?
Yeah.
And then he opens that, it's like no angels, and dude, how good was his acting right there? Like when
Yeah, it
she
was
comes out
great.
and she's standing next to him, he does that thing like where you're like off in space, and he
Yeah.
snapped to it, and he's like, oh, what is it? And she's like, this is from
Yeah, what?
He looks, she sets it down, and he's just kind of like, okay, but when she leaves, and he like looks at it,
Yeah.
and when he takes out
Opens it
the,
up.
yeah, he's like, oh, he was the
Yeah.
killer. There was like a rabbit's foot in there,
Yeah,
newspaper
watch.
clippings,
Yeah, a bunch of random shit. It's like,
random dude.
what the fuck is
I'll take a
this, you
Shirley
know?
Temple to go.
Yeah,
Called the
yeah,
cops on
right.
his own house.
Yeah.
Why didn't dude go meet him at the bar and like talk to him?
Yeah. I mean,
Wouldn't that have
bad
made
lieutenant
sense?
decision. Yeah.
It's
That
like,
would have
here,
made
you
more
take my
sense.
pager. As soon as he leaves, I'm gonna page you.
Yeah,
Done.
yeah. And that's it.
That's a good lieutenant
Um,
decision.
yeah, exactly, right. But I do like how the dynamic of the story was kinda changed to where instead of it being solely focused on them finding the killer
Yeah,
and
it's kind of
they
focused
do
on them.
that. Yeah, exactly. They do that, but the story's about saving,
Was different.
you know, saving him, and I like that a lot. I
Yeah,
thought that was very clever. Um, I mean, the acting was fucking top notch.
Yeah, dude. When they got the three of them in the room together.
Yeah. Yeah, that was amazing.
He purposely turned that table so he could see his lap.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's why he did that.
Yeah.
See,
and that's the thing.
Don't you? I kind of think that now he may have committed the murders because they were like, this guy left here. 5 years ago, he left right after you left.
Yeah.
He went up to Detroit, and he was like, "Was there any dead bodies up there?" And he's like, "In Detroit."
Yeah, yeah. They're jugging on Detroit for a
in
minute.
Detroit,
like, low hanging fruit. You know,
I don't know if he was the guy that was chasing the girl.
Yeah,
but by it opening up, see, he was gone during that investigation. He left and went to Detroit. So this time he was there.
Yeah.
So it may. I mean, I definitely think he killed someone.
I think that he was a copycat of.
Well, he had all the books.
Yeah, yeah.
He was fascinated by it.
Yeah.
When he held that picture up, dude, I thought that shit was cold, dude. When he held that picture up, he said 11 more. You got a calendar.
I know, dude. That was fucking crazy. Yeah.
He said you got to kiss a lot of frogs to find a prince.
Yeah.
So when's Columbo going to solve my case? When he asked that guy.
Yeah.
Is Columbo going to solve my case? He's like, he does things differently.
Yeah.
He told that lady, he's like, what else was in the fridge? She was like, beer. He's like, I'm going to need that for evidence.
Yeah, right.
And he sits there and drinks it.
Yeah.
That's when she asked him, she's like, how do you get used to the smell? And he says, if you're lucky enough, you don't get used to it.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Yeah. Cold-blooded.
Yeah. If you piss on my leg and call it rain.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Okay.
There all these fucking quips, you know what I mean? Like, damn. But no, man, I think that like all right, Jared Leto's character definitely at some point killed someone. I'm almost 100% certain on that. I don't know if that was this particular case.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Hello.
Hey, man.
Hey, what's up, man?
Can't hear anyone. Hold on.
But yeah, I don't know if it was that particular case, but there's definitely signs pointing to him murdering someone at some point, you know? And that is going to be, that's kind of the mystery of the film, though. It's like, I think it had to have been a copycat killer.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that the opening of the film shows that guy was leaving town. Or at least like getting on the outskirts of the town.
Yeah.
And it going from there. What's up, Trav?
Hello.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Let me restart Discord.
All right, man. So what do you think? Do you think that he was a killer, copycat killer, or anything like that?
Well, like it's the little things.
Yeah.
They show you that beer over and over again. The milk.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, I can hear y'all.
Yeah, they show him, the roast beef.
Yeah.
He goes into the roast beef restaurant. I mean, he just happens to be doing all these things that we know that the killer does.
Yeah.
It was her last meal. Like whoever the girl, it was a sick dude because he was like, he shaved her dead body.
Yeah.
And positioned it. And dude, when he was looking at those pictures, he was like, you can definitely tell it's not so-and-so. I can't remember the name, but this was some famous crime scene photographer.
Yeah.
He was like, the contrast is all off. And it's like, whoa, dude, this is weird.
We already live, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Word.
We went on around 10 or 9.
Yeah.
Griffin's got kidney stones.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got kidney stones, by the way.
So
been there.
Yeah. Man down, Yeah.
You've been doing the dance.
Shit, I've been doing something, man. I couldn't hardly walk. That's how bad it was hurting.
Yeah, man, it's a brutal, sad state of affairs.
Just fucking put me down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old Yeller him.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, we've been going for about 20 minutes, and we just got it. We just started talking about it, really.
Yeah.
Um,
Unexpected. It was. I kind of had an idea of how the movie was gonna go. Deidre praised it. Uh, I mean, dude, uh, Denzel Washington.
yeah.
It should be called Monologue the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Because, well, I mean, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was really good. Like I loved all those little moments, man, where he'd lay in some Washington wisdom,
Yeah,
as
the
I'll
little
call it.
things.
Yeah, where he get when he's talking to the corpse,
Yeah.
he's like you didn't listen to that feeling, did you? You
Yeah, when he
you
told him not
felt
to get
it,
in the car.
but you just had
When
to
he
like
gave
he
the
went David
hamburgers to
Tennant
that
on him.
girl, he's like, y'all don't know how lucky you are tonight, girls.
Yeah,
Because
right.
Yeah.
I'm following him.
Well, so I want to ask you guys how y'all interpreted this, or maybe I just went off my rocker with it. So the pictures that he held up in his hotel room, that wasn't a case he was after.
It was.
Those are the people. Those are the people that he fucked up and shot.
Well, he didn't shoot
And
them
it's
all.
his.
No,
Like it was his.
no. They
Like
were. Listen, when they got there was 2 girls killed and placed
yeah,
on that rock. There was
yeah.
another girl there though, and when she come running around the corner, he shot her.
Yeah.
Like
He was like,
she
"Put your
was just
hands
part of
up!"
the.
She come running out of the woods, and he shot her. So
Well,
then
because
that's when they
I was just
saved him,
trying to
because
see
that's why he
how
lost
it.
his job, and that's why he had to go. He went to be a deputy somewhere else from this badass detective to, because everyone covered for him. The woman at the morgue was like, she took the bullet out. And she's like, I'm gonna say it was stab wounds.
Yeah.
That's why she told
Well,
him when she gave him the file. She says, I can't be there for you like that again.
Yeah.
So I'm not
well,
gonna
it's
build a
like
lie and cover for you again.
well, it's like the theme of the movie was detective's guilt. Like you're gonna
Yeah.
fuck up working these cases. You're
Well, he
gonna get
saves
the wrong
him.
guy. You
He like
know.
saves him from becoming what he became. No
Yeah.
Well,
family.
but he lied to him
He
though.
did.
Yeah.
He
Just to
bullshitted him.
save
Like
him.
yeah, because that dude, like he like
He bought the Haribo, dude,
by the
and put
time
it in there.
Denzel catches up with him, like dude's already like his mind's already turned to shit from the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's just constantly repeating. He's like, dude, he was our man.
Yeah. Well,
He was our
dude,
guy.
there was
We
10
got him.
holes there. I
Like
counted them.
I
So
thought
he
it was
dug
crazy.
3 while
I
the guy
thought it
was
was
alive, and
crazy
then he
that
kept digging while dude was gone.
yeah, like yeah,
He was like,
Denzel was like,
please, I hope
yo,
the body's here. He said, drop him in a hole 4 feet deep. I'll be back in a couple hours.
yeah, and it's like, no, I'm gonna keep looking for the body.
Yeah.
And it's like, I those obsession style movies, man, they're always good, dude. They're the type of film that's like that I don't have a problem watching.
We've
Because
already talked about it, but how did you feel about Jared Leto?
oh
What
man,
about that walk?
I was
What was
about
up
to
with
get.
that
I was
walk,
gonna say
dude?
it was that goddamn that
But lower back, got to take a shit walk like a.
that fucking gate, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I was really surprised that he wasn't like phoning it in and
Yeah.
some like, you know what I mean? Because like you could clearly tell that either before or after he filmed this movie, he went and slapped some more white paint on and filmed his Justice League cameo.
Yeah. When he pulled up beside the car and he went, because he knew the cop was in a new car or a different one. He said, "How's the trunk space?"
Well, oh, dude, that
like,
dead ass,
ooh,
that dead ass dead eye
how's the
stare that
trunk
he
space?
gave, where it's the same stare he gives in like Blade Runner when he's all like, "I make life, only to take life." But yeah, man. I mean, dude, ever since Requiem for a Dream, uh, Leto has like I honed. That's the movie that made me hone in on him and other
Yeah.
films. Uh, regardless of his other artistic endeavors and that weird cult shit that apparently he's been doing.
That hedonistic lifestyle.
Despite that hedonistic lifestyle, that motherfucker can act his goddamn ass off, man. And And it's funny that people are always going to shit on him for the one that was shitty, and that was his Joker performance, which I think he redeemed a little in Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, outside of superhero shit, this motherfucker is a masterclass in a way.
Dude, you guys haven't even seen his best performance, in my opinion.
What's that?
I've seen clips from Dallas Buyers.
Oh
yeah, dude.
I have seen some clips. I saw the one recently where I think me and you watched it, Griffin, where they were in the supermarket.
Yeah. He's like, shake her hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
So, Trav.
Yeah.
Do you think he's the one?
Is he the killer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that he's copycat?
No.
You think he was the one all along?
Yep. And the reason I say it is because if we look back into our murder porn archives, one thing that killers like to do,
revisit.
Yeah. And they love to like kind of they're serial killers are a very weird, like next level type of voyeur.
Yes.
Like a lot of them, especially the really unhinged ones, like look at how I guess we can pull from recent material that's come out on different services. Look at Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He did all those murders, and he talked to any motherfucker that had an ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all like that too.
And they all like to kind of have their own awkward front row seat.
You can watch Mindhunter and see that.
Because
they all want to talk.
And another thing too is that they all want to oh man, I guess you hit the nail on the head with that, with the talking, man. Well, no, here's what it was. It's the fact that he was mentally fucking with him the whole movie.
Yeah.
From the car back and forth thing, which was another murder case. And I felt like even though he was into true crime, and I appreciated the detail when they were going over his apartment, how like you saw the bookshelf, you saw Helter Skelter and a couple of the true crime books. I think that was like misdirection. I think that by introducing the dilemma at the end of the film, it forces the audience to have that dilemma with the main character.
Yeah.
But I still think I mean I have to side with Rami Malek's character. I think he's the fucking guy that did it. And I think that because even though he talks and revisits and all this stuff, yeah, he took him out to the boonies to make him go Shia LaBeouf on the desert, and it didn't work.
Funny.
But at the end of the day, he was still so narcissistic and in that moment with those cops that he had to be the killer. He was. And I feel like an argument for that would be, well, are you sure? And it's like, well, why would, like, if someone wanted to be involved like that, why would he go that hard? Why would he push them that fucking hard into a corner to where he himself could get fucking killed and did?
Yeah, he was like, I saw that picture of your family.
Which I thought was great when that goddamn shovel smacks his face mid-sentence. I was like, oh, well, that's over.
He said, how do you expect to take two little girls if you can't even handle that one? Wow.
Yeah.
And he went, hey, man, get up. Hey, man.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I mean, post-TED Talk, yeah, I think he's the killer.
He did know stuff that no one else knew, like that, you know, they were like, well, he's a big news guy and he followed the cases, but when he takes them out to that mile marker where they found the dead bodies, that wasn't released to the public. He tells him that on the phone. He's like, what mile marker was that? And he's like, was it like 6:45 or something, 47? And he's like, huh.
And even if we go with the idea that he didn't kill him,
he's still one creepy bastard.
Yeah. I just don't understand why someone who's innocent would go that far in the mind fucking, you know?
Yeah. Well, and this was my thing. It's like, was he the killer? Possibly. do I think that he was the original killer? Probably not. If he didn't kill those girls, he definitely killed someone somewhere.
I think he did the one in the room.
Yeah.
Because this one was different. They shaved him, came back, revisited several times, made her eat food.
Yeah.
But that would have been a different killer than the guy in the car. I mean, this was a time where, you know, some killing going on in the neighborhood. Like,
well, I mean, without being too fucking poetic about the shit, let's circle back to the title of the movie. It's the little things.
Yeah.
And what I mean by little things is that
the roast beef, the beer.
You have a character. You have a
How many times they make sure to show that beer? Like,
and they also one of the biggest little things too is that this guy's fucking with a human.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cop. Well, yeah, a cop has creeds and codes and edicts to follow and stuff. But the little thing of him being another human is that, like, you can only fuck with a human's mind so long before it breaks. And whether it breaks on you or just in its own self-imposed hell, that's the coin flip with that. Right. And in the film, we saw where it clearly landed on heads, and homeboy got his life taken.
Well, remember he went on a service call to that girl's house.
Yeah.
Like right before this all happened. He went up there, knew she was alone, saw the girl.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Took an
opportunity. Because if you do go back and look at the beginning of the film when the chick's getting chased, homeboy doesn't look like Leto.
No, the car is different. Even the car
does not have
the second vehicle he owned wasn't the car.
He's just rocking.
He had like glasses and a mustache.
Hat. Yeah, there was that one blink and you missed it shot that I thought looked good, where she was ducked behind a bush, and that guy was walking, and he turns his head, and when he does, the lenses kind of do that. That, you know, the camera, it reflects the light, but it did both full lenses, so it had almost like that Sin City appeal with fucking Elijah Wood's character.
Yeah, that soulless thing.
Yeah, where it's just like like you could superimpose his silhouette in a comic book and it'd fit, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's to me, that's why it feels like he's a copycat. And like, because you see that, like, the original murder happens, that kind of kickstarts the film with the girl that's tied up in the apartment and everything. And then you also see that same car from the beginning of the film was following the girl that was jogging. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, either he's a copycat and the killer's back in town and it's just very coincidental, or you know, there's something more going on here that we don't really know about, to where maybe he's like a disciple type character, something like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of different ways that you could, you know, skin that cat. But that's,
and I could see where maybe he could be a copycat, but I still feel like he was probably the one, you know?
Right.
Like when he died, you didn't feel bad. You're like,
well, when Denzel went into the cleaners, and when he leaves and homeboy looks back, it's like he already knew he was being watched.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's just little things that fucking kicked in.
Like, you gotta remember, man, it's the little things that get you caught.
Yeah.
The beer, the roast beef, the service call, the creepy motherfucker, dude. But it was a different vehicle. And then when they get his other vehicle, whenever they explained it, they was like, he's probably got a couple of high mileage vehicles. The Nova had like 100,000 miles on it. You know,
shit, it had 650 on it.
Was it?
Didn't it? I think it was like 6.
But he was like, that's a lot of miles. Well, when they find the other car abandoned, and they're like, he didn't make a police report. Oh, but he did. Oh, okay. But he already knew he was possibly being followed. So he's doing all this shit. But that was a rollback on that one. They said it's got 20,000 miles on it. It's like, it's got to be a rollback. But when that FBI guy explains who the profile they're looking for at the end, it's like, it's this dude.
Yeah, exactly.
It's his profile.
Yeah. And to be fair though, like the events that played out couldn't have happened at a more perfect time, because he kills dude, Zell goes back, cleans the apartment out and all that shit. He said, "You're going to go in. You're going to tell the chief that you need time off."
Yeah.
Oh, you're bringing the FBI in. I need some time off to spend with my
Yeah. I
family and
wasn't able to solve my case. I'm upset.
yeah, yeah. And then the beret and everything, like the situation that happened couldn't have played out any more perfectly in the favor of the detective
Yeah.
because like now he's got a clear conscience. He's got time off to where he can actually reflect on.
He can process it.
Yeah. He's learned from his mistakes.
But he still had, it's almost a Pyrrhic victory because while he may have gotten all of that,
when we get
that last shot of him at the pool, he still looks fucked up from it.
Well, even though he knows, like, there's nobody to bring home to the family.
Which,
and you know, he could tell about that.
Which during the whole, montage of, Denzel bagging up dudes' items, selling the car, doing the cleaner shit, it makes you wonder, or at least it made me look at the opening shot of one of the opening scenes in the film a little differently. Like, now you know that what those long ass gazes Denzel gave towards Malik when he was, he's talking to the press, he's getting questioned like, you ain't got a, you don't even have a fucking suspect. What the fuck's going on? All this stuff. It's like Denzel read the room and was like, this case is gonna fuck him hard, dude.
Yeah.
And he just started lingering. Cause like, it's this weird level of guilt.
Yeah.
Well, see, and he's got to go back home and live with that.
Yeah.
But he's willing to bear that cross.
Yeah.
You remember the cross he kept driving by and looking up at?
Yeah.
When I saw it, and they do it several times. He's leaving town. He looks at the cross and he's like, I can't leave this dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's got some good imagery for sure, man. A lot of very good, and it's one of those films where, kind of harkening back to Quiet Place 2 last week. The camera's not going to sit on something for no reason.
Yeah.
Not just to fill the screen time or to imply, oh, we're in a bustling city. It's like, no, we're staring at this. You know what I mean? Like every ace has its place in films like these. And I don't know, it was a good execution, I thought. I mean, I enjoyed this film a lot more than I do other films like it.
Yeah. Well, and this is the thing, and I said this earlier too, Trav, before you got on. It's like the fact that the focus of the film was around this case and about catching this guy, but the outcome of everything had nothing to do with the outcome of the case. It had the outcome.
Absolutely.
It was about saving the detective, like trying to bring him back from the brink of like complete mental collapse. You know what I mean? And it's like it's a cool notion that they turned on its head. It's like, there's a killer, murders are happening, we're trying to find them and all this. At the end of the day, none of that shit even mattered. Two people that really didn't like each other to begin with became friends, and in the process of it, Zell took the higher road and saved him from becoming the same thing he was.
Yeah, saved him from himself. The whole and because you realize that what he's saying is like whenever he's in his bedroom, and it's the end's the beginning is the end. He starts going fucking smashing pumpkins for a second.
Yeah,
and you hear him start to cry, and he's like, "It's never over." Like it's not gonna end with him. It ain't gonna end with Rami Malek. But he's in a position to work with the parameters that's been set for him, and he can do something, and he can affect some sort of change, and we get to see that play out. And it's really interesting how movies like these get made, where you see most of the angles of the film. Where everything's coming from for the most part, but they were able to elegantly twist it and make it, like you were saying, to go to your statement, it wasn't about that case. At the end of the day, whether Leto lived or died didn't matter. It was Denzel saving Malik from complete obsession to the point of madness. Yeah, to the point of madness. Because, you find out that, Morgue Girl, ex-wife.
Yeah. It helped him by when he went home and ate breakfast with him. That's when he was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to help this
Like
dude out. Like,
yeah, like this is gonna fuck him and his whole family life up.
he didn't even talk to his kids anymore. He goes to see his
Yep.
wife. It's like, look at old fucking G stepping up with his shirt buttoned all the way up to the top.
Yeah, all the way. All the way to the lower jaw, you know. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and rate it. I'm gonna give it a full star, man. I really did enjoy it. I thought the cinematography was amazing.
Yeah.
The direction was great. The only thing, and I said this earlier too, Trev, but the only thing that I wish they would have done a little bit differently was introduce Jared Leto's character earlier and had 1 to 2 more interactions with him fucking with them before it got to the climax.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
I agree with that. Like,
But I
why
know,
didn't we get a couple of interviews?
well,
You
and
know?
that's the thing. I know that they wanted to like keep that like when his character was on screen, it was something very significant and it was going to be something, ridiculous, kind of like what they did
Yeah.
in 7. But the crimes in this film were not as severe and as meaningful
Yeah.
as the crimes in 7 were. So it made sense that you didn't want to like have that character be very present.
Yeah.
But the fact that like they leave you at the end of the film not really knowing whether he is who he's portraying or who they
Well,
think he is, this, that, and the other, then you could have had more interactions with him to almost give a false narrative with, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Right.
the way they leave you not knowing, it's like you're in the same boat as him.
Yeah,
You just
right.
don't know. He's like,
Yeah.
well, either way, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's like,
Well,
But
it's the classic. Let the audience make the ending.
yeah.
yeah, I give
But
it a star.
So with that being said, and that big criticism being there, I'm gonna add a little bit to it as well. I agree with everything you said, Griff. Um, I think this kind of film suffers in the modern age because it's because these kind of
There's so
stories,
much murder
like
porn.
like well, because of that, it's that
There's
they're
channels
experiencing
dedicated to it. Like,
the Western fatigue.
yeah,
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess that's debatable depending on, what your interests are. But for me, those types of stories are kind of overplayed. I'm almost at the point where I'm tired of, okay, X happened with
yeah,
Y variable, so Z
he
is
did
the
it.
culprit, and we're gonna spend the next 6 hours telling you why, because it's
Yeah.
gonna take that long to do it.
Yeah.
I think because of that and everything, though, I give it a half, but that's not because the movie's bad. I think that also, and what I guess where I was trying to get to is that the stuff we pointed out,
The fact
where
that
we were
they
like,
focus on the
okay,
police,
yeah, well, like,
like
well,
stories kind of about them.
and also the the how do I word it right? Uh, damn it, it's leaving me, man. Um, yeah, I mean, I give it a half star, man. So. It's not a bad film. It's not an awful film, but it's in an age where you know that I'm back. I'm back, baby, back, baby.
Yeah.
Um,
Wrong
He's
guy.
back.
uh, mental flips. Uh, anyhow, the stuff that we pointed out, man, most people would chalk that up under needs a second watch. Uh, this movie has that, but I don't want to insult any particular person's intelligence. But this is the kind of movie where some people need to watch it a second time to pick up on the shit that we were talking about. And then you've got us that were able to a degree, pick apart most of the foreshadowing and see where most of the things were going.
Yeah.
And because it can't have a clear footing in that kind of way, because I feel like some people are gonna, they're gonna hardcore right off the bat be like, yeah, he didn't do it. It was an innocent man. But where we were like, no, no,
Yeah.
no, that's the misdirection, dude.
Yeah.
Motherfucker did it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter because it's about this. And I don't know. There's just too much mental gymnastics with explaining the movie or stuff like that to where I don't know. It's a good movie, a solid half-star film.
Yeah. No, I get it, man. And it's like in a world where True Detective exists.
Yes, you could put it better that way.
Yeah, it's like this was great, and I would love to see those two, not those
That
two
would have been a
characters, but
great
those,
True Detective season.
yeah, with those
Yes.
More
two
Leto.
actors.
Oh
Yes.
man, if this could have been a season of True
Wow.
Detective where it's the whole where they were able to embellish more and give more character development, that would
Yeah.
turn this around 100%.
Yeah, I agree. And
And
like that,
and dude, yes, Denzel Washington and True Detective, we need it now.
yeah. And that's why it's like I give it a full star. I love the movie, but like in the world where you have writing of that caliber and you have
On TV.
everything. Yes, and it's so fleshed out and it's so well done. It has to be a superstar crime drama to be able to like, you know what I mean? And this
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
to me was a superstar crime drama. I just wish that they would have had that opportunity, to where they could have fleshed everything out more. But it
Dude,
just wants me to see that guy from True Detective take those three actors and
Wow.
put them in, you know,
I mean, I guess a good statement to make is that the reason I'm giving it a half star because of Griffin's better wording for sure is because the caliber of writing for these types of stories is so high now because of stuff like True Detective that even with as many great performances that you can have within an hour and a half to 2 hours, you can only go so far with a feature length film.
Yeah.
yes,
And these performances warrant more scenes. Like
yeah,
I want more. Yeah, I do find myself wanting more. I guess in hindsight.
yeah. Well, and there was like when you watch season 1 and season 3 specifically of True
Mm-hmm.
Detective, there was a sense of finality to it. Like it was over and it was over and you got every fucked up little detail in the process
Yeah.
and you pull your own conclusions from that. Just the
Yeah,
same way you do in this. But there was a sense of finality because of the character arcs.
right.
And
Because well, I mean, you could argue. Well, I don't want to argue, but you could compare that the ending of this film was similar to the ending of True Detective season 3,
mhm,
whereas Rami is probably going to always in his mind be at that location digging holes,
yeah,
just like just like Marshall Ali's character, he's going to always be in the jungles of Nam, dude.
yeah,
No matter what happens in the present.
yeah,
Here's a little piece of shinfo, and I'm only bringing it up because it's got a perfect world involved. But the writer director, John Lee Hancock, originally wrote the screenplay in 1993 after completing
oh,
his work on Clint Eastwood's picture, A Perfect World.
holy
This
shit.
this could have if this would have came out in the 90s,
Yeah, like
Mhm,
it would have been
around the time Seven came out, or
it'd have been decent competition for
it's
7.
amazing how
oh
long
yeah,
this script is set around, and it makes you
yeah,
wonder what else they have sitting around.
yeah,
It would have been a nice alternative for people who thought maybe 7 was too fucked up for
yeah,
them.
oh yeah.
Because
That's crazy.
as good as 7 is, I could see a particular margin of people
Yeah,
being like, man, the whole head in the box is too much,
yeah.
for them. Like I could see that. What would now be the Karens.
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy. I mean, if he wrote it in '93, he probably wouldn't have started filming it until '95. It probably wouldn't have came out until '97.
Yep.
Well, seven came out in what '96?
Yeah.
Or it could have shelved. It could have sat on the shelf and came out at 98, 99 a little bit.
Yeah,
That would have been
still
before
could have had.
the Myrtle Pearl boom. And that's the thing
Yeah,
with these detective shows now. We've all seen enough murder porn
hmm,
to fucking solve a goddamn crime, dude.
yeah,
Like,
right.
for real.
Yeah,
Seen
yeah,
enough. Seen so many, whenever you start watching one, you could almost figure it out. I'm like, oh, yeah, this guy did it for sure. I mean, He was at the party. His cell phone got left behind. You know.
Well, it's to inoculate us into see something, say something.
Yeah.
Because that's been the beat since 2001, dude.
Yeah.
Sure has.
Yeah. All right, y'all want to hit on some movie news real quick?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, so I think this first little tidbit we have here, Trav dropped in here.
All right, this is some bad news. Just forewarned.
Now, I heard that there's a chick starred in this movie.
It's.
I saw this trending on Twitter that they've cast a girl, and people were like bitching about it.
It was a case of me being like, "Oh shit, new Predator film. Let's see what they've got to say." And it's the thing that has me interested in the film is that the director is taking beats from The Revenant.
Yes.
Now, when I think I'm going to film a movie like The Revenant, I'm thinking, all right, natural lighting, going to make the Predator look super fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Wide atmospheric shots of woods, wherever the hell this place is, wherever this location is going to be. Pretty sure by the name, it's probably going to be in fucking Norway or Sweden.
Yeah.
Or New Zealand for all we know. But I'm interested to see how this movie is going to look. But the plot just was like, went out the window with the whole, like, it's going to be about a warrior woman fighting the Predator. And it's not because of the fact that it's female led, it's the fact that it's female led in 2021, where every franchise that has been fucking rebooted with a strong female lead has went to shit.
Right.
All of them, man. All of them. Evil Dead, it wasn't fucking, like, it's not so much as females getting lead roles. It's franchises that have an established aesthetic and their idea changing up is that kind of shit. When it's not, when the public is not stupid to what these film companies are doing.
Yeah.
And it's bringing politics into entertainment, which is fucking garbage. It doesn't fucking work. It doesn't.
Right. So
rant, sorry.
So Skull is a Predator movie that directed by Dan Trachtenberg's reboot, including the movie will be a prequel detailing the first time a Predator visits Earth. Thanks to a recent chat between producers John Davis and John Fox and Collider, we now know that Skull is an origin story about the Predator's first journey to this planet, and that it will have a similar tone to the 2015 Oscar winner, The Revenant. So here's what I'm going to say about it. I thought that what they did with Predators and how that film ended was fine. And
I enjoyed Predators a lot. If we could put the BCAD marker in Predator shit, everything from Alien versus Predator onward that's dealt with the Predator franchise has been meh.
Yeah.
When they did Predators, that shit was awesome.
Yeah.
The Predator was the Predator.
Yeah.
So this is the guy that directed 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Right.
That's his first movie. And then he did the first episode of The Black Mirror, first episode of The Boys, The Lost Symbol to another TV, and he's doing the pilots for all these. And then Skull's next.
It's going to really matter how they cultivate the lead. That's going to make this movie be really good.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be hard to have the Predator killing shit with really good lighting and cinematography. That's not fucking hard to do. But writing the whole concept of how this is going to be Predator, the first one to arrive to Earth,
tell him where the time period's going to be. Like they don't.
It's going to be like
right?
it's. I think it's going to be like fucking hunter gatherer shit.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
And so I mean, I want it to do well. I just don't think it will.
Yeah, I get that, and I think that
it's got too many familiar ingredients that we've been given for so long and told, man, you guys are gonna love it. And then all we get is another bestest ever fucking story. And it's old. It's more older and I have more fatigue for that shit than I do the superhero movies. And as much as I love that shit, I'm on the same boat with a lot of other people. I'm like scratching my head going, you guys got anything else?
Yeah.
So this is Disney's first crack at it, right? Since they got the property.
Well, didn't we cover an article on a previous episode where isn't the Fox properties that they've acquired, are they going to keep it under Fox, or are they going to kind of rebrand a different studio?
Well,
like I don't see us seeing the Disney D on this fucking film, you know?
Well, they own the name, so
yeah.
They'll probably
I mean, I'm
use
sure it'll be a byproduct, but
and
you
it'll
know
end
what I
up
mean?
on like
are they
Hulu.
are they gonna have it as like, you know, is it gonna be another film studio that they're gonna kind of silently control and just like let it be all of these more PG-13 to rated R level films, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that could definitely be a possibility. And I think that they'll probably go a route similar to that because it makes sense as opposed to just being an umbrella of Disney coverage on everything. And the idea of the film itself is interesting enough. Um, with the fact that it's being Disney's first outing with the film, and being given the fact that like, okay, they're going to do a prequel story. Like, you know, we got the first Predator. It came out like what 88, something like that, 87. You have all this time period to where this thing has been technically showing up and doing its shit. So I think the safe bet for them to try to like restart everything is to go back.
Prequel.
Yeah, and it's interesting that they're going back to the first time that it
It
happens.
is.
Like that to me is very interesting. But I think at the same time, like it absolutely makes sense that they're going this route. And I think that Disney's smart enough to know that if this outing isn't good enough and doesn't garner
Then that's
enough
it.
revenue for them, yeah, they're not going to touch the property for several years. And I think the same thing's going to be true of the Alien franchise and a lot of other of the big Fox properties that they were able to acquire. So I think that they're hedging a lot of bets on this, and I don't think that Disney would have greenlit it and went with it because if it's just now finishing wrapping up on everything, then it wasn't something that was already in the works at Fox.
No.
Like it was, but it wasn't being filmed. So
another
with
nice
that
touch,
being,
man, is the guy that's directing it. A lot of
yeah,
times you'll see that this movie's getting made, and it's like, oh shit, they're making this or that, you know, a remake or something. And you go to the director's IMDb, and you're like, ooh, bunch of B
yeah,
movies here. Like that guy's
yeah,
been real careful about what he's put out,
yeah.
so that's nice.
So yeah, so I'm hesitant, but in a very similar way that you are as well, Trav. But I'm also a little bit more optimistic to a degree. I guess because Disney's name's attached to it. And I hate feeling that way. Like, okay,
Yeah,
so Disney's attached to it and they're
get
going to be the
scared.
ones that somewhat control it. But at the same time, it's like they've had a pretty good track record so far.
Yeah, what if they made
The
it a
last, like,
series instead of a?
I mean,
Wouldn't that be great?
well, they could do a Predator
Yeah,
anthology series where it's a 45 to an hour minute
you
episode
cover the
and it's
different times
the
and
different time
yeah,
periods.
that's
Yeah.
been there, and you know that'd be nice.
Yeah. And something like that could definitely spin off of this. So I'm interested to see how it plays out. Definitely. Well, I'm not going to say definitely. Probably won't go to the theaters and watch it, but definitely do it on the
I
pod.
think that
You
list,
know?
there's other articles where people are like, it's already doomed to go straight to streaming. Like, that's the world we live in now. You announce a movie, and the internet's
Yeah.
like, better not put it in the theater because we're not going to go watch it. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of that, I feel like that the little things kind of suffered from that a little bit as well
Yeah.
because it was the first film that co-released on streaming
Yep.
and in theaters at the same time. And I feel like HBO and the studio wouldn't have done that if they didn't think that a story like that could have pulled enough numbers. And in today's time, we really don't know because do we have anything to compare that to that's came out recently other than stuff that's streaming?
It was only $30 million budget.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
that's cheap for a movie.
And Zell probably cost 15
Yeah.
of it. You know what I mean? Like shit. Leto's like, I'll do it
Fucking
for
Ron
free
did
if
it
I
for
get.
free. Yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
is
He's like, I
Zell in
want to
it?
walk this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, next up, I saw this on, I think it was Facebook the other day, but I thought it was very interesting. So, they're doing a Magic the Gathering series on Netflix, and
Mm-hmm.
they've kind of come out with some details on it. So, in
Mm.
2019 of June, Avengers Infinity War and Endgame directors Joe and Anthony Russo announced that they will be executive producing a new animated adaptation based on the fantasy themed mythology of Wizards of the Coast popular card game Magic the Gathering for Netflix. According to the Russos, adapting Magic the Gathering is a true passion project because they are lifelong fans of the card game. So we know that it's a show made by the fans for the fans. Promotional artwork for the upcoming project was released along with the announcement, and it features one of the Gate Watch's planewalkers, Chandra. This is actually the art for the card Exquisite Firecraft.
Mm-hmm.
So here it says that no exact official release date has been announced yet, but back in December 2019, we reported about a placeholder that reveals that it's set to release in 2021. That was shown when the user typed Magic the Gathering into the streaming services search bar, but it looks like Netflix removed it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Octopio Octopi CEO Isaac Krauss said that the tone of the Magic the Gathering show's story is dark and that the writers have developed a character based story for the series. There are currently no other specifics regarding the characters and setting, but based on the placeholder shown above, it will be centered around the magic wielding planeswalkers who are among the most powerful heroes and villains of the lore's multiverse. And then it goes into interviews and things like that.
I saw some set footage where they were filming on the set of this,
Yeah.
and they're putting some money into it, boys. I mean, it looked like Lord of
Well,
the Rings meets Game of
well,
Thrones. You know, it was.
Well, it says down here on the article, it says as for the animation, Bardell Entertainment, who produced The Simpsons and Rick and Morty, and Hasbro's AllSpark, who did Transformers Prime and GI Joe Renegades, will be working with supervising director Yoriaki Machizuki,
Mm,
and he did Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
yeah.
Oh shit.
So I mean, there's good people behind this.
Yeah.
It's kind of I mean, with the Russo brothers taking the executive producer slot instead of like full blown involved level, I mean, they're gonna more or less be the Feige of this little franchise.
Right.
I mean, even with them attached, the whole concept of the Gatewatch is basically Magic's version of the Avengers. They're like different planeswalkers that are all like, we're gonna stop the big bad together, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Um, it's good to hear that they are going to keep it dark because the
Yeah.
reason why the planeswalkers can jump from different planes of existence, why they can be a planeswalker, is you have to have something in you called your spark ignite, and in order for that to happen, you more or less have to achieve a level of trauma for
Yeah.
your spark to fire up, and
Yeah.
then that happens. And so, it's I don't know. I want it to be good. I want to be very over the moon excited for it. But this is something that I would seriously, because I love to play the game myself. So I'm very looking forward to how this is going to play out.
Yeah.
Right.
Um, I think it's cool that they said here, because I was reading an article while you were rolling from the top, man, and one of the interviews, the guy says, "What we plan to do, the story and the characters are going to be true to the spirit of the story and the characters that are pre-existing. We're going to be true to that in the world, and also true to the core values of those worlds and characters. They're going to try to carve out their own continuity." Um, I'm trying to find the actual thing I'm trying to quote here. Oh yeah, he goes, they were explaining that it's a character-driven franchise space, saying that this is not going to be Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon where you're literalizing gameplay aspects. We've developed this library of wonderful characters and wonderful places and impactful events, and we're going to be bringing that to life in a new way. And I think they should play it simple and just have a classic villain wants to take over the multiverse. That's our Nico Bolas character. He's the bad guy, the big bad. He's this big ass fucking dragon that just, he's really powerful. He wants to take over the multiverse, and all these different planeswalkers from different planes of existence band together and stop him. I think let that be season one, or let that be what they're alluding to as
Build
the
up
overall
to.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, do good character driven stuff where maybe, the first half of the season are these characters and us witnessing what causes their spark to ignite.
Yeah.
I would really like to see that. That would be really cool. And do some sort of thing called it's an event that happens in Magic lore called the Mending. And it's where it's kind of like, without being too much of similar to Loki, they find a way to where the different planes, like the Mending is where certain planes come together, some are ripped apart, you know. It's its own little event thing in the lore, and they could dive into that to help explain why this story is a little different from, say, the card story that people are familiar with. Like maybe this is the aftermath of another mending that has occurred, and kind of do some sort of cyclical thing where there'll be a mending and an unmending, there'll always be a death and birth, and that kind of shit. And
Yeah.
have these heroes be, let their power be the incarnate of everything that just cycles back with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just do some cool fantasy shit.
Yeah. Well, and with the Russo brothers attached to it, I think that that's going to be that's going to help it even more. And I think with it going to Netflix, it gives it more of an opportunity to actually grow and become something more, because they could by all means take some of the things that go on within Magic, branch it off into other things. They could even, if the popularity is there, um, do something live action with it as well.
That would
Uh,
be fantastic for sure, man.
yeah. And it would be very interesting because, if they started out with, let's say, the animated series, and it's going to be this and it's going to build up to this, that, and the other, whatever, and then that be what it is. If there's enough attention on it, then they could use the animated series to be what kicks it off, but also what tied you over between the live action things, kind of like what Marvel's doing
Oh,
with
I
their
would. This is the one property, Griffin, that I would say absolutely apply the Marvel formula,
right. There's
and it
so
and
much
it, it wouldn't be
more.
detrimental to it.
Yeah.
And I
There's
think with Netflix too, like they're able to take stuff that you would think couldn't be done and make it good. There are a few. And one of the things that I've been rewatching lately that I've been like, man, this is surprisingly really fucking awesome, is Castlevania.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I finally started picking back up on it. Didn't realize there was 4 seasons of this shit now, and I started season 2, and I'm having a silly goose time with it.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been able to do some great stuff because I watched season 1 and 2. I haven't watched 3 and 4 yet, but like, and when they were talking about like doing Zelda on Disney or on Netflix and things like that, like the way that they've been able to handle Castlevania itself, the art style, the direction that it's going and everything is just incredible. So I think that it's a no-brainer that Netflix get hold of a property as big as Magic, because it is huge and it's been around and it's just spawned lore for
Yeah,
years.
there's so much
So
material there.
Well,
yeah,
it's
so
it's it's the it's the next step in the '90s pop culture that needs to be
Yeah.
brought to
Hasn't been
the
touched yet.
television screen. Like
yeah,
we've got the comic nostalgia is like we got that covered now. Now it's like let's let's see what we can do with these card games,
yeah,
because that was one thing whenever I got into Magic a few years ago. What really pulled me in outside of playing the game was how much lore there was for it if you went looking for it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
how, just the whole thing just completely, sucked me in, dude.
Right.
So,
So yeah, we have that to look forward to. So that's going to be great, especially if it comes out this year. Um, so James Gunn would like to make an R-rated Barbarian Drax movie. says Gunn is currently promoting the release of Suicide Squad, his new DC movie, which hits theaters later this week. During a recent interview, he was asked about the prospect of Marvel eventually doing R rated movies. Gunn, in response, said the following: I think they will. I think they will. I'm almost sure they will. Not Guardians, though, because Guardians are family movies, so it's different. People are like, finally, they let you do R rating. What would Guardians be like if it was R rated? I'm like, but it's not. While Guardians of the Galaxy movies as a whole may not be suited for that path, James Gunn does feel that Drax on his own could be a good fit. Speaking further, Gunn explained he would love to do Barbarian Drax as an R-rated movie, though it does not. Though it does seem more hypothetical than anything that's actually on the table right now. I could go off and make a Drax movie that's R rated that I would love to do, like Barbarian Drax. But the Guardians movies are fables, and I don't think of them like that. I don't write them like that. It's a different type of movie, and you can have some gore and some scary darkness in there, but things like that, which is good stuff, but it's not that, but it's not the rock and roll of Suicide Squad. So I mean, obviously, with Disney acquiring Fox and acquiring the rights to Deadpool,
Mm-hmm.
they're eventually going to have to go R
Oh yeah.
rated in some capacity at some point. Even if they
It'll
decide to
happen.
do a PG, yeah, yeah. Even if they decide to do a PG-13 theatrical release of Deadpool and then release an R-rated version of it later on, or whatever they decide to do, it's going to be something that'll be there, right?
And they can
And
make money because they did that. Didn't Fox do that with
yeah, they
Deadpool?
did.
They
Yeah.
let movie you can let your kids watch, and then here's the R-rated one,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
and it
So I
worked.
think that yeah, it did, right? And it would be very interesting since Gunn's back in the good graces of Disney if they would give him the opportunity to make an R-rated Marvel movie. And I think that there are several characters that lend themselves more to R rating, like Deadpool. And I think that even like Ghost Rider and certain characters like that lends itself more to R ratings than our mainstream heroes. So I think it's a cool idea that he has. I think that Drax was just something that
Yeah,
come off the cuff in the
yeah.
moment. But I think that he could write something really good and really special because like a lot of his content outside of comic book related films has been really good. It's been
Mm-hmm.
dark but it's been really good. So I'm perfectly fine with that. Maybe he'll get the opportunity to do something like that. I don't see why not. All right, so Kit Harington, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our boy Kit.
You know nothing, Jon
Um,
Snow.
Yeah. So he says here that the Eternals is doing something really different in the MCU. It says here that since Black Widow kicked off the MCU's Phase 4, it seems like the Marvel bandwagon has been constantly churning out teasers for more and more of their upcoming movies, many of which would have already been in cinemas if it wasn't for the COVID pandemic. Among the biggest and most anticipated is Eternals, which its ensemble cast, mystery plot, and epic scale, and Kit Harington has been sharing in the usual tight-lipped Marvel way some information about the movie and his Black Knight character. He particularly touched on the previously mentioned narrative that the movie will be doing something that it has never been seen before in the MCU.
Ooh.
It says, I'm a big fan of the MCU, so when they came knocking, it's very exciting, Kit Harington said. The character, I won't go into why he interests me because it's more than my life is worth to tell you. But what did interest me about that piece was that it has Chloe Zhao directing.
Kyle.
Yeah. I met her and spoke with her and was so impressed by her. The cast was sort of phenomenal and wide ranging and diverse. It just looked like they were doing something really different in this with this movie. I can't tell you much about it, but we filmed it pre-pandemic and it's finally coming out. It was sort of frustrating that it got pushed back so much, but now I'll be going on and doing some press for that very soon, and it's really exciting. It says the Cast of Eternals is the largest in any Marvel origin movie, as unlike many similar stories, this one doesn't introduce just one central character like, say, Iron Man or Captain America. even the Guardians of the Galaxy group doesn't come close to Eternals with its roster. So I think that what he's talking about here specifically is how diverse the cast and the characters
Yeah.
actually are. But I think he's also dropping some subtle hints in there as
Mm-hmm.
well I mean, yeah, I mean, we saw all that from the trailer and
Yeah.
the cast that was announced and everything like that, and that's great. I'm glad that they're moving in that direction with it. But also, he's like, I can't really talk about it,
Yeah.
but
But it's different.
yeah, they're doing something different.
Like
FYI,
possibly bringing in some new
Yeah, yeah,
from another
Or like,
property.
yeah,
or maybe since we're seeing a film that takes place at this point, this is going to be the earliest movie in the Marvel universe
Yeah.
now.
yeah,
So, with that being said, you got to remember from the Loki film, or not Loki film, if it felt like a film, but from the Loki show at the very end when Kang is talking,
Going on
he
a long
says
time.
he says he's been from the beginning of time to the furthest he could see.
yeah,
So it would be interesting if we catch something in the eye of like Kang shows up with the Eternals at some point. So like when he's just in traveler mode,
yeah,
and they're more or less like, you shouldn't be here, motherfucker. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, what more of a grand introduction with that? Like you get him in, you get a version of him
Yeah.
in Loki. Um, he's going to be an Ant-Man, and then if he's set to have a surprise role in the Eternals, like you're setting up for such a grand scale villain. Like
yeah.
it's a no-brainer.
And all it has to be is goddamn Jonathan Majors with some different piece of clothing
Yeah.
slapped on showing up somewhere. And it's just, it's so easy to film those little build-up scenes now because you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about how the fuck Thanos is going to look.
Yeah, exactly, right.
But
I
like
mean,
you just have an iteration of them, and then when we're getting to the next to the movie where he's the goddamn problem,
yeah,
have that version be the motherfucker show up
Yeah.
at the setup film. They're like,
yeah,
oh, this is like all the ones we've been saying. This motherfucker then killed them all.
yeah. I think that that's genius, and that might be what he's alluding to. Like instead of it being like a little snippet here and there of Thanos that we got in the first arc of the MCU, what if we just have many, many different versions because we're able to do that? Many, many different versions of him, many different iterations of this character, and just roll
Yeah.
with it. And like you see the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And like that would be some amazing storytelling because you talk about, how Star Wars flirted that line of like good and bad and the gray in between. It's like, well, how much more gray can you get where you have a good version of a character, a bad version of a character, and like you see all these different versions of it. That
And
that kind of expands everything
the
out.
only way to know who's who is by the way they look.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
it would be crazy, because I feel like they kind of gave us a glimpse at what might happen to Kang already, like when everything's all said and done. Because remember, dude says no matter what happens, he's going to end up right back in that room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it would be crazy if we get the evil Kang or whatever, and instead of killing him like they had to kill Thanos, uh Kang's not trying to wipe anyone out. He's killing off variants. Yes, he is murdering people, but he's trying to he's more or less just wanting to keep a certain chain of events going that ensures his survival.
Yeah. Yeah, and since like the timelines have been split off like they are, like, yeah, it's inevitable that he ends up there, but what if like this time how he ends up in this position is completely different than the ways it's been
Yeah,
before?
it's not that version of him. It's the evil one that gets put back in that room, and it's like, you want to rule something, rule from here, and
Yeah,
like and it's like, I don't know. They could go so many different ways with it because it's gonna have to be obviously different from the comic books.
yeah,
Because they're bringing Kang front and center, and he hasn't been front and center in a hot minute.
yeah,
So it's gonna be interesting how they give him a fresh story, honor stuff that's happened, which they more or less, I would say, kind of did at the end of Loki. They kind of got all that out of the way, so I guess they could do the new stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We've already had that conversation, and that was something they added in later. That wasn't going to be in there at first, but they were like, "No, let's go ahead and put that in there."
When they went so far as to be like, "Who is he?" and he starts saying that he was a scientist, I'm like, "Oh shit, they're staying relatively accurate."
He's getting a proper pull from fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, and I mean, I certainly can't pretend like I'm some massive Kang the Conqueror fan, but I like that he's worse than Thanos in different ways.
Yeah.
And
something that's worse is there's more than one.
Yeah.
You get a couple of them that are bad. Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to divulge into all that I read because I think a lot of it's bullshit. I was doing my daily surf, for movie shit too, and I came across what appeared to be some summaries of events that are going to happen in Doctor Strange 2. I'll tell you, boys, most of it was pretty garbage, so that's why I'm going to believe that it's bullshit. But the what I'm assuming is the cold opening of the film is going to show it. I'm not going to disclose what character because if I do call it, I'm sorry. But the opening character is going to be coming into the Prime universe to Earth 616 through a portal that has that character being chased by what's going to be, I guess, live action renditions of the Marvel zombies.
Well, I mean, the Marvel it's already been sprinkled out with the what if stuff, so it makes sense.
And if it's going to be a full blown horror film for the MCU, they're a very good choice to have as like.
And
but I don't know if, but the thing is that the only time in the summaries I read, that was the only time they appear. So that's why I'm thinking I probably read a big steaming pile of fan fiction.
Right.
But
that would be kind of cool though.
But the silver lining to the stuff was that it was shitty enough to still be decisions I could see Marvel making.
Yeah.
And that's what had me feared with it.
Right.
But yeah, I did read a little bit of it. Certain characters are not in it as much as I thought. Certain characters I thought would never leave certain shows are there for some reason.
Right.
So it was just a thing. Something I thought I would bring up about the zombie scene because I was like, that's a cool way to start a Marvel movie.
And different.
Yeah, like
real different compared to all the other ones we had.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool little tidbit worth dropping.
Right, yeah. Well, next over, I'm going to go to this one first. So the Black Widow director thinks Red Guardian deserves his own movie.
I've heard a lot of people say this.
Yeah, and this is what he had to say about it. Sometimes, not sometimes. Often I would be crying with laughter, and there was so much good stuff that didn't end up in the film. But I think that's why Red Guardian needs his own movie, because it will be so funny. And that's the main thing I want to touch on. But here's what I think, though. I'm going to throw this out real quick. I think that the Red Guardian would be a perfect character to do a series with.
Yes.
Because you could have it take place in the past.
I was thinking 50-50. Show the past, exactly, and then you cut straight to the future.
Yeah.
Like have him reminiscing.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Because, a lot of fan theories online is like, well, he said that he fought Captain America, and they're like, well, Captain America was frozen. Yeah, but like some people are like, well, what if that wasn't?
What if it was a time traveler?
Or what if it was a different version of Captain America?
It would be really cool if they did it like to go with what you're saying, Adam, the 50-50. Have it where the episode is him reminiscing about some like how like when we meet him, he's boasting about fighting Cap in the prison and everything. Well, have that be kind of the template for the episodes. and then you see that a completely set of events, like he embellishes his
by doing it
story.
that way, you can have it like you can bump up the ridiculousness.
Yeah.
You know, because he's telling the story that we're watching.
Yeah.
So of course he's gonna be badass.
And where all the comedy and the coolness and badassness can happen, you could also have moments that have a lot of heart come in too.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
he embellishes something, but it's really because he did something even greater. You know?
Yeah, and they could actually go in and show like, you know, the taskmaster. Like, what if this isn't the first version of that character?
Mhm.
You know, what if this is like a different version of the character that we see in the Black Widow film? And you know, they could actually build a lot of stuff off of the you
Yeah.
know Eastern European
Well,
side of the world.
well, I thought this was a cool idea that I had, when like as I was kind of processing Black Widow. You know how they more or less reduced Taskmaster to a computer program?
Yeah.
Well, have it to where
Could upload that
the
anywhere.
program was based off of the actual mindset of the original Taskmaster who had that ability, and they were like, he's just like a fucking computer, and have it linked in with like have it to where it's still a unique take on Taskmaster, but have it to where the modern day version is just this program that was built off a motherfucker from the 40s and 50s that was a badass.
Of course, you'd want to replicate that because then you could put it in as soon as the one they have now, when she's dead, make another one. You know,
exactly.
Upload it.
Yeah,
you could have a whole team of them.
Yeah,
so that makes sense to like want to do that.
And it could run because I'm purely speaking with like I guess original ideas for it. Because it would run in parallel with around the time Zola is figuring out how to upload his consciousness into the Hydra computer.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think it would work out very well if they did that. And I think David Harbour, he's coming over. He's a fucking Netflix star already.
Yeah.
So it would be something that is very familiar to him already. You would get that, and it could also leave him open up enough to where if they needed to bring him in the future, he's there.
Yeah.
And I think that he would become a fan favorite that would be like,
dude.
"Oh shit," you know?
He could play a good like he could take place of Fat Thor.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like be the one that's like, yeah, let's go do some badass shit and kick some ass. That way.
Could you imagine him and Thor hanging out?
Well, they could, because they're obviously. I mean, I don't know how Taika Waititi is going to handle Thor in the next movie, but if they tone him back down to being, he's still ridiculous and from Asgard, but he's not mentally warped from the events of Infinity War and Endgame as much anymore. He's had some sort of, mental, healing from it.
Yeah.
And let that comedy beat, let it be with Red Guardian, because the entire time throughout Black Widow, he would kind of play the like he could have fit in a Taika Waititi movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And he would be that good comedic relief of like whenever they do another team up and Red Guardian's that he's the one that's given the fucking wisecracks.
Yeah.
In the middle of like, life or death.
Yeah.
Because he's been there before.
Yeah. That's a great idea. I think that's the route they should take with that characters and Taskmaster and all that kind of stuff, because like it writes itself to a degree, and it's kind of,
yeah, man.
It would kind of be like a disservice to not use some of that, because there was some great things that came from Black Widow, But speaking of Taika Waititi, he said that he says that Thor: Love and Thunder, it shouldn't make any sense. It's the craziest movie he's ever made.
What article are you on here?
The bottom one.
Okay.
And he jokes that it could end his career.
What?
And this is what he said about it.
Yeah, the quotes is what made me post it, gentlemen. I was like, yeah, the guy's got to read that.
He said, "Well, just between me and you and the readers, I've done some crazy shit in my life. I've lived like 10 lifetimes, but it's the craziest film I've ever done. if you wrote down all the elements of this film, it shouldn't make sense. It's almost like it shouldn't be made. If you walked into a room and said, I want this and this and this, who's in it? These people. Why are you, what are you going to call it? Love and Thunder. I mean, you'd never work again. Maybe I won't after this. He said it's very different from Ragnarok. It's crazier. I'll tell you what's different. There'll be far more emotion in this film, and a lot more love, and a lot more thunder, and a lot more Thor if you've seen the photos. So this dude is a fucking national treasure.
He is, dude.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what he ends up doing with Thor: Love and Thunder, because when we first talked about it, it's like, oh, it's going to be female Thor and all this kind of stuff. It's like, I don't know, we'll see, kind of see. But him coming back, I'm like, fucking take my money.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
he's not gonna let us down.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
He loves that. He loves the franchise enough to do something crazy. And I think that, like, with them breaking off and actually showing the multiverse and everything, I think that, like, it's going to allow for a lot more of these crazier stories to actually happen. And because it's one of those things that's always going to be in the back of everybody's mind that watch Loki. They're like, is this the timeline? What version of the timeline is this? Like,
well, a couple of I was listening to what you were saying, and I went like 2 paragraphs below, and it says Natalie Portman she spilled the beans, boys.
Oh, you shouldn't spill your beans.
The actress previously commented on her character, confirming that her version of Thor will share the screen with Chris Hemsworth. There's still the other Thor, the original Thor. Portman has even since revealed that she will wield Mjolnir in the movie, and the actress proclaiming proudly, I do, in response to being asked. And so I'm saying
she's gonna be the Lady Thor?
She's gonna be a
Is she gonna catch that fucking thunder?
Yeah,
I feel like she's gonna be a variant that came from a universe where she got cancer and all this stuff. She bested Thor and became him. That, because I still want to see I want to see Lady Thor's origin done properly, because like I said, it's of that weird era where they were doing the female versions of the Marvel heroes.
Yeah.
Lady Thor's was the best, man. It was actually really good. The passing of the torch wasn't a passing. Like, she had to beat that fucking hammer and pry it out of his goddamn hands. And it was a good read. So I'm actually excited for how this could pan out. But I'm thinking they're gonna do that story, but have her be a variant that crosses over into. I feel like everything's it's gonna, multiverse of madness, y'all. You know, shit like that.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be how that shit plays out. I feel like it is anyway. And it makes sense. And I think that it's a fantastic idea. And I'm glad that he's doing it and that he's going to make it the way that he wants to make it. Well, because, I mean,
he's an awesome filmmaker.
The right person. Yeah, he's the right person.
He's proved time and time again.
Yeah.
And not any kind of movie, comic book, serious, comedy, like just, and then he's really good at putting it all together. See, I didn't know that the Guardians were going to be in Thor.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just found that out because there's an article here where Star-Lord, and he's talking about his rivalry with Thor, and it continues in Love and Thunder. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, they're going to be in that? That's going to be awesome.
Well, it would be cool. I mean, it would be cool if we get like a pickup where Endgame leaves off, where Thor took off with the Guardians.
Yeah. And that's the one they got, and then they have Guardians 3 coming out. So I'm guessing I don't think Pratt's gonna be.
Well, like if they're in deep space and we start seeing multiverse shit happening,
so
and seeing how that translates into the larger cosmic storyline, you know.
So they don't have Chris Hemsworth in the cast for Guardians 3, so they're gonna take him home, or whatever. You know what I mean? He's gonna be parting ways.
Yeah.
See, the reason that you remember they were like, oh, he's going to be in the next Guardians movie. It's like, nope, they're going to be in the next Thor movie. Ooh, curveball.
Which it makes sense because they had to postpone starting the filming for Guardians for so long.
Yeah.
They probably just chalked that up and threw it.
Someone had a better idea.
Yeah.
What if we did this? What if fucking Peter Quill's like hitting on his chick, dude?
Oh, shit. That'd be kind of crazy. Yeah.
Get into it.
If they made Lady Thor like Quill for some reason.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
He's like, you want to hear my mixtape?
So much potential for like the real comedic aspect of like, the dude likes one chick. Because that's what's weird about this movie is it's
like he's a fucking playboy.
Well, what reminds me with like, because the whole thing about Jane and Thor is that they're a couple.
Yeah, Jor.
And but like, it would be interesting, and I know this is like, so if they took some aspects from like DC, when you have like runs of Superman where Superman bestows his power to Lois for a short time. And All-Star Superman, that's one of the big lovey-dovey moments of Clark Kent in that run is because he gives Lois some of his powers and they're able to be together as like super beings for a while.
Super couple.
And we'll let her experience life through his eyes before he dies. And it would be interesting if something like that happens in this movie.
Yeah. It could possibly happen, man.
Because the whole thing is that Jane Foster is a cancer patient. That's the big tragic aspect of her character.
Yeah, yeah. So speaking of Taika Waititi, he is writing the script for the live action remake of Flash Gordon.
So they got to use the original soundtrack. Go ahead.
Yeah, and they got to like synth it up. So speaking to Collider in an interview to coincide with this weekend's release of Jungle Cruise, Davis shared Taika is writing it. It was a movie that was a huge influence on him growing up. It is one of his favorite movies. He initially said to me, "Let's do it animated." I said, "Okay." Then we got into it and started developing it, and he said, "No, let's do it live action." I said, "Even better." Attempts to bring Gordon back to life has been ongoing since the character being referenced in Ted in 2012. And despite Waititi having his hands full at the moment with a number of upcoming projects lined up, include a turn directing a new Star Wars movie, Davis is adamant that the Flash Gordon project is something the director is really passionate about doing. He has the most fantastically interesting vision for the movie, and you can only know it is Taika. It is what he does. It is the way he looks at the world. He is the greatest guy in the world. He is the funniest guy in the world, and he thinks on a different plane. And this movie embraces everything that's special about Taika and his vision. It harkens in a very interesting way to the original conception from the comics he shared. Davis also added that the pair have been discussing the project since Thor Ragnarok was released, which makes a lot of sense considering how that movie was marketed and stylized in pretty much the same way as the sci-fi movies of the 1980s. But it was a 2016 movie called Hunt for the Wilder People that caught Davis's attention. And that's something that we need to check.
It's pretty good. I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's good. And I even think it was a remake of another movie. He kind of put his own spin on it.
Right.
I mean, dude, it seems like he's like Hollywood's it guy. Like any movie he wants to come in and get made, gets made, and it kills.
Yeah. Well, and I think that like he's kind of like that. He's the right person at the right time as far as like his vision.
Yeah. His comedy cues. The way he makes a movie.
Yeah. It all wraps up perfectly in a nice little bow, and it does all the right things at the right time. And I mean, look, man, they need to bring Flash Gordon back.
And so, I'm all right with that. Him doing it. That's
for sure.
100%.
Yeah. So we'll see how that turns out. I hope that he gets it made.
Oh, it'll happen, dude.
It'll have to.
It'll happen.
What if it turns into a series though? Too.
I mean, that'd be great, dude. While we're sucking his dick.
Yeah.
So he's got a little documentary coming out called "The Next Goal Wins." They play football, soccer.
Yeah.
The Reservation Dogs. We saw that. He had that in the works. He's one of the creators. Love and Thunder, that's coming out. You know, I'm doing these in order.
Yeah.
I had no idea he was making a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
So we talked about it. So that's on the list. He's doing a Star Wars movie, but in 2025.
Yeah.
And he's doing werewolves.
Which
so
is a spin-off
of the wolves
What
from
We
the
Do in the
documentary,
Shadows.
not the show.
Yeah.
The mockumentary. Like, so, and this will be set place in New Zealand.
Right.
That's great. He's doing episode 1 of Time Bandits.
They're doing I thought that they were doing a film, but they're doing a series.
No, he's doing episode 1. So he's going to kick off Time Bandits. I don't know if he's sticking around, but he's going to get it going.
I mean, that's genius.
And he's got Flash Gordon on his IMDb, so that's happening.
Yeah.
Like, it's on there. It's been made public.
Yeah.
This guy you can't go wrong with him.
Well, he's very Terry Gilliam.
Very. So
like,
Time Bandits makes sense. Like,
yeah.
Yes, dude.
A lot of the stuff that he does, he has a weird way that he looks and approaches
it's
things.
Almost like he was a member of Monty Python.
Yeah,
or some
sure.
And he had a comedy group at one time. They all did some stuff together.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like that. He's our Terry Gilliam.
Yeah, for sure.
Flying the Conchords, dude.
Yeah.
That's where it blew up.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with the Terry Gilliam comment.
So last on the docket here, I just wanted to throw this out here to see what y'all's opinions of it was. But Tarantino would consider a First Blood remake with Adam Driver as Rambo. This is what he had to say about it. He said, if I just wanted to make a good movie that I knew would be good, I would take David Morrell's novel for First Blood and do the novel, not the movie that was made out of First Blood. I would do the novel, and Kurt Russell would play the sheriff, and Adam Driver would play Rambo. Every time I read it, the dialogue is so fantastic in the David Morrell novel that you're reading it out loud. It would be so good. But now I want to do more than that. But if it was just about to make a good movie, that's out there.
I mean, do your thing, internet, you know?
Yeah, that's a very interesting cast. It makes sense. Yeah.
And I don't know anything about the novel. Have y'all read that? I didn't even know it was a book.
I was about to comment. I was gonna say, I think it's funny how someone asked him about Rambo, and he was like, "Let me tell you about fucking Rambo."
Dude, they probably wasn't even talking about Rambo, were they? Like, this shit probably just came out of nowhere. He's like that, dude. Yeah, and I picture that. He's like, let me tell you about making fucking movies, okay? Want a fucking Adam Driver and Kurt Russell, and we do the novel. Not the movie, the novel. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Well, he just reread it.
Quentin's in the coke again.
Yeah, get him out of the coke, dude.
I didn't even know that was a novel. But from what he's saying, completely different story.
Yeah.
Different.
Oh, it also says in this article that he thought about redoing, that he thought about a remake for Westworld.
Oh, like the movie, yeah.
And an adaptation of DC's Sergeant Rock.
Okay. Which
is hilarious because Sergeant Rock is who's used to narrate the story of Dark Knight's death metal.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the beginning, like you'll hear like he's in that thing talking to you like a fucking sergeant, being like, "Get your head up, boy. Fucking Joker's fucking going crazy. He's lobbing shit everywhere, but your boy Doc Rock's here is fucking gonna get you through it, you know?"
Well, if I was doing this interview or possibly podcast, this sounds like a podcast conversation they're having. Yeah. Where the guy just lets him ramble. And he started saying this shit, I'd be like, Quentin. Can I call you Quentin? I'm gonna call you Quentin. Dude, Hollywood will let you make anything you want to make if you walk into the studio that owns the property to that and go, I want to make this.
They'd give you a blank check.
They would let him make anything. Remember when he was like, I'd like to make a Star Trek movie, and he had old fucking dude sweating in his knickers, dude, you know?
Yeah.
You know, old dude was like, he can't just come along and make who was this? What's Simon Pegg?
Yeah.
He was like, he can't just come along and make a Star Trek movie. And it's like, yes, he can.
It's Quentin Tarantino.
And he may know more about Star Trek than you.
When when he takes a hit off a joint, he becomes Squintin' Tarantino.
Squinting. They'll let him make anything he wants to make.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. No one's gonna tell him no.
Yeah, no.
I mean, we all know. I mean, we all have that punchline that if Tarantino did any IP, it would be the IP, but with a shitload of dialogue.
There'll be a lot of talking, a lot of references.
But honestly, we know that he is a skilled enough.
I was gonna say that's his writing.
He would. I think he would fucking kill.
Yeah.
Like imagine.
Well, that's his writing. Imagine him directing someone else's writing.
Well, like here's the thing: you don't put Quentin Tarantino on Superman. You don't put Quentin Tarantino on Doctor Strange. You give him shit like The Punisher.
Yeah, he ain't
you
making
give him Daredevil. You give him the street level guys that have villains that can talk like Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
That's where you put him in the superhero realm, dude. And I think he would fucking reinvent the game on those characters.
Yeah, for sure, right.
Like, like imagine like I'm already thinking about Tarantino doing something like The Punisher.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine a Death Proof style car chase sequence with Frank Castle and fucking Kingpin henchmen, dude, where they just fucking hauling ass down New York, fucking people getting ran the fuck over, running over shit, getting no fucks given about the world around you. It's just Frank Castle and these fuckers, and goddamn it, Frank Castle's about to unleash hell.
And he's looking for White Castle, you know?
Yeah.
I got you one right here, dude.
Cause he wants to park in it, you know?
Let him direct a Ghost Rider movie.
Oh yeah.
All right. Man. With Nick Cage. Huh? I said it.
Yeah. It'd be the
He would relaunch Nick Cage's career. And not that his career, I mean, he's in Pig, but
yeah.
Well, dude. I mean, if we wanted to,
it could be Adam Driver. Adam Driver could play that.
Yeah.
Well, if we wanted to throw in a little bit of CGI, but not too much, because I feel like our boy Quentin.
That's the only thing holding him back, Travis. Shoots on film, you know? Well, he's like, He likes practical effects, which can be done.
Dude, what if Tarantino did like a Constantine movie or something?
It'd be amazing.
That would be.
It sounds like it. I mean, at first thought, it sounds like it might not work, but then you think about how Constantine, how a lot of exposition's done through the dialogue, man, and I think Tarantino could do exposition in such a way that doesn't feel like the way everyone's tired of it right now, and it's just those little spoon-fed, like, you have to get the sword of the elder beast to fight the dragon.
Well, that's always been the thing. Around, you know, like, he doesn't use CGI and he's used practical effects, but he was willing to make a Star Trek movie, which would be some CGI. Have to be, right?
No, he's like, nah, dude, we're doing it practical.
We're fucking shooting in the back loft. Okay.
We're gonna have like a 5-year fucking pre-production. We're gonna build all the ships 7 different ways for 7 different angles.
If you look at the movies he's made, there was no call for CGI.
Yeah.
We can do this with practical. So I'm sure he'd be open. He's like, oh, the only way we can do that CGI? Okay, well that's fine. I mean, but if we can do it practical, I'd rather spend $100,000. You know?
Yeah.
Well,
which does look better.
Well, what's badass is he's got like, well, oh man, what if Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez
team back up
to do like a fucking Swamp Thing or a goddamn
like a creature feature,
or have the two of them do Ghost Rider and make it like make it in the vein of like a really high grade R-rated body horror film.
Yeah, Grindhouse movie.
Yeah.
Set the 70s.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Meet Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
And it's got to have fucking Machete in it. I can't remember his name. I'm not pulling his name.
Danny Trejo.
That's it.
Yeah.
Of course he's going to be in it.
Yeah.
He'd be like
Samuel L. Jackson's going to be in it.
He'd be like, that Hefe will outrun the devil, man.
Yeah. Hefe. They say at night his head starts to glow. What?
Yeah. One more time.
I will say though, that picture they picked for Adam Driver, like I can picture him with the paint under his eyes,
with the red,
the long hair. Yeah, gotta have the red bandana.
You know what superhero movie needs to be remade with some tender loving care, and Tarantino could do it. Jonah Hex.
Oh, whoa!
Like, get it, because dude, they could have done so much better than what we got.
Jonah Hex with Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Or no, dude, keep Brolin. Because Brolin
was
wasn't
great,
bad.
But I don't know if he'd come back.
No,
it was a stain on his legacy.
He's the fucking Mad Titan now. Dude.
I really wanted to like that movie. Yeah, he's moved on to bigger and better things. I really wanted to like that movie,
too, man.
And what was the one they did?
Had all the makings of like a good
What
Western,
was the one they did with Daniel Craig?
Cowboys and Aliens.
That's it. Cowboys versus Aliens. Was it versus?
I think I can't remember, but I do remember seeing it in the past couple of years. Dude, it's a better movie on a rewatch.
Yeah, it is.
It's better than Jonah Hex.
Yeah.
It was Cowboys and Aliens, yeah. Which is on fucking. It's on Peacock for free. Anyone?
I mean, dude, Harrison Ford was your bad guy. For crying out loud.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
He was the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just couldn't remember if it was him or like Timothy Daniel or something.
And it had Sam Rockwell as Doc.
Yeah.
Paul Dano.
Yeah, it was a great film, man.
I mean, dude, it was classic, high-tech shit dealing with cowboys, man. Like, I love the fact that they're like it was such a. It reminded me of like a movie I'd have watched with my grandfather, where like they sticks and stones beats the supercomputer type shit, you know. Because the whole thing of them going up to those big ass ship towers that ship tower that was there and just throwing dynamite in it, like
I just remember seeing those around the same time and being like Jonah Hex, the Aliens, Cowboys versus Aliens was definitely better. And then it seemed like the same time they did the one John
Carter.
John Carter. Oh,
which was such a letdown.
Yeah, whoa.
Such a letdown.
Whoa.
Fantastic cast.
Whoa.
Fantastic production.
What happened,
Somebody set their cup of coffee on the better part of the movie plans and fucked it up.
Because, dude, when you look at all the ingredients of John Carter, it's like, this is going to be a hit. There's going to be 3 of them. Maybe a series, some toys.
And it is such a hard watch. And it had such a cool plot device, too.
Yeah.
Dude's got to keep his body okay while he's quantum leaping to Mars, dude. Like, it's fucking crazy.
And then it's like Indian Outlaw over here. Like, there's tribes and...
It's weird that, Cowboys and Aliens did like that, I think.
It was like
because you got to remember, Favreau was coming in hot off Iron Man 1 with that. Check your age, gentlemen. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
All right, I'm done juicing. I was hyping it up.
I mean, that's all the news I had, though. I mean,
Kevin Smith started filming.
Yeah.
I'm getting my trailer rig pulled up, but I saw a picture of Dante and they're at the fucking Quick Stop.
Yeah.
They're working on it.
They're not even supposed to be there.
Do you guys want to acknowledge the level of shit he's been getting for He-Man?
We talked about it a little bit last week. I haven't seen the show yet, so I can't comment on it. I remember last week you told us what you thought, but at the same time, I'm like, well, you watched one episode.
Ooh.
You watch the rest of it?
Watch that episode, man. You'll know what I mean.
It won't make me want to watch the rest.
Maybe.
What happens in the rest?
So I could see where you would go on and finish it because that's your thing,
it's a
dude.
show.
But you'll know what I mean.
He has been getting a lot of shit though.
You'll see it and you're gonna go, do I really want to take this track? And the part of you that is usually gonna be like, hell yeah, click next, click next, Adam. is gonna get bitch slapped by the part of you that's like, no, let's watch something else, man.
Yeah.
That was good. That was great. That was fucking awesome. But let's watch something else.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. I think I know what you mean without saying it.
It's a good 30-minute watch that you'll be glad to go and think about when you take a shit after it.
But he has been catching a lot of hate.
Yeah, he has. But I mean,
he always gets hated on.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Everything he puts out, he's got tough skin.
But this is the thing that's, I mean, dude.
It ain't like he wrote it. They just attached his name to it. He'll be all right.
The only bookends I like is the song by Simon and Garfunkel, dude. I don't like it as a plot device in my movies. No, bookends, bro. You're gonna get a hell of a good start. You're gonna see where the chuffa starts, and you're gonna wait for the bookend, dude. And I'm not saying that middle part's gonna be bad, but I mean, you're not watching it for it, and you'll find out.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Travis is a misogynist.
No, dude, there. No. I knew it. Look, I'm picking up what you're saying.
Trailer time. Checking the watch.
We finally got a trailer for What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Which drops September the 2nd. Only a month, fellas.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Me too.
They kind of fucked. A lot of these people fucked up. They're like, they should have had this shit ready to go when the pandy hit. It was like, dude, you could have been killing it with the ratings.
Yeah, for real. But, you know.
But I've dropped my comment. Like sometimes. Things be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
I got it pulled up. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Things. All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Started fucking around with the little things.
The fucking little things that get you caught, man.
Looks like Craigslist.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, he was in the mirror. I made sure to look this time. So now he's using a phone, but before he was using the... So I can't wait to see the meltdown. Not for liquids. That's why.
I'm glad that the States is getting a healthy dose of Matt Berry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at him, he's feeding off it. We were just talking about that the other night, man. We watched this trailer, and I said the same thing to Trey. I was like, it's nice that he's getting this little blow up in America. Finally, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Like I hope this leads to people doing a deep dive on him.
Yeah, who's that guy? He's funny.
They find his British content because it's. I mean, the guy doesn't change his acting style.
No, dude, it's the same and everything. He talks the same. You know,
and it's just his delivery. It doesn't get old. Normally, the voice trope gets old.
Yeah,
Matt Berry's just because he knows when to inflex and make that shit, dude. When he busts in the door at fucking in the IT crowd and he does the whole Father!
Yeah, and then he does the thing where he runs down and he gets like for some reason he starts running, he can't stop, so he trips up on some shit like.
I think I've bust up in the room on my wife so many times going, don't worry, it's only me. Like,
oh, man. So, I think this is about Serena and Venus Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is a movie about their father.
Okay.
I think he was kind of like a Tiger Woods kind of dad. Like, he was hard on them. I mean, dude. Olympic athletes, you know?
Right.
I think they've won medals. I don't know, but I know they've won big money.
if you don't land a love on this next hit, I'm gonna knock the love out of you.
Yeah. He was like an Ike Turner type of guy.
Right.
You know?
No bush. No bush.
Have y'all seen that where people take the meme of him looking at her like they use that meme? Like when you tell her to make a sandwich and it's him looking like,
yeah, bitch.
to make a sandwich, don't put no makeup on.
Yeah.
All right. King Richard.
I'm ready, man.
You ready, Trav?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. So this is probably going to be a little Pursuit of Happiness vibe. Like he was abusing. Is he doing a voice? Wait. I need to hear him talk. He's doing a little voice here, dude.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. The movie's kind of about them, but not. It's about him. I like the voice. Dude, it's dude. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but
Bernthal.
yeah. I mean, Will Smith's gonna kill it, dude.
Yeah.
Even if you have no interest in that story, look at him. There was real tears. You ain't lying. He might get an Oscar.
Yeah.
Okay. HBO Max
good.
and theaters.
Yeah.
Still eligible for an award.
I'm kind of interested in checking.
You been hearing about this? Got Adam Driver in it.
Oh, House of Gucci?
Yeah. Oh, the other movie.
No, I was saying, yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge like tennis guy or anything like that.
It's gonna be him.
Yeah, and that's what's gonna sell it.
Yeah.
It's a Mino Daddy movie.
Well, I love all of the more heartfelt stuff that that he does, man.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, as a actor that came from comedy roots,
that came from Fresh Prince.
He's one of the few who've made that transition into serious acting and was able to stay there.
I put him up there with Jamie Foxx.
I mean, you could think of it. He kind of set the roadmap for a lot of comedic actors in terms of how to get to the serious stuff. You know, you have your comedy, do the blockbuster, then do the toned down serious drama.
Yeah.
Sprinkle those in between some of it to show that, hey, I'm not just all fanfare with CGI, but, you know, because I mean, think of it, for years, the only time we'd see Will Smith is if some shit was blowing the fuck up behind him.
Yeah.
Bad boy.
But
and
now,
you know, and he delivers that classic Will Smith, like, woo, welcome to blah, 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 boy.
Oh, hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like The Pursuit of Happiness, that's one of my favorite Will Smith movies, man.
7 Pounds.
That was his real son.
Amazing.
7 pounds, dude. Man.
That's a movie, dude.
Yeah.
It's a hard watch, but it's good though.
Yeah.
House of Gucci
House
though,
of
this has got a
Scaducci.
fucking all-star cast in it, man.
It's got Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Jared Leto, Jeremy Irons.
Al Pacino. Ooh,
Oh. Oh, directed by Ridley Scott.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm excited based on a book. I'm ready to see this Gaga in action, dude. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I wouldn't mind taking a peek at that Gaga.
Yeah.
You know,
Whoa.
let's do it.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. No fucking little goo goo gaga.
Yeah, little
Oh,
radio
God.
Gaga.
Well, was that House of Glass?
Heart of Glass.
House of Glass. House of Gucci. She Russian?
I think so.
So it's a story about Gucci. He looks like he's going to a prom in the 70s.
Oh, shit.
Damn. They left some names out. All right. Rich people. If you're gonna be Gucci, you gotta dress the part. What's happening here? Oh, he was shot. That's right. Spoiler alert.
I think Jared Leto is going to backdoor upstage all these
Whoa, oh,
motherfuckers.
he's gonna come in hot.
He, like, total fucking prosthetic work, man.
Shit looks great, man. Really, Scott kills it.
Oh, I had to put this in here.
Oh, the featurette?
Yeah.
Let's do it, man. Free Guy. Comes out soon.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's made of human muscle. He had to. He's like Deadpool ride or die, dude.
Yeah, right.
The dude. It's John Cena. Can't wait to see that movie. Oh, the 13th. Pod locked on it.
Yeah, for sure, right.
We've been waiting on fucking Free Guy for 2 years.
I love how when he's in a movie now, they're just like, he's like, "Can I do something crazy to promote it?"
Can I do some crossover
have
Deadpool
fun.
shit?
Yeah, they're like, "Have fun with it," and he's just like doing whatever the fuck he wants to do.
He's like, Tiger, you want to do the fucking, you want to play the Rock Man one more time?
He's like, "Sure." Flag Day. This has got Sean Penn, right?
Yeah.
Is he's going to be super serious?
It's based on a true story about a man that counterfeited a bunch of money.
Oh.
Let's leave you with that.
It's got Josh Brolin in it too.
I don't know why it's called Flag Day. Because we remember Flag Day?
Yeah, I remember.
What? When I think Flag Day, I'm like, what could this possibly have to do with that? But
yeah, we'll see.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Dude, here in a minute, when this chopper goes by and he's driving the car, well, look his face. Watch his face when he drives, when he's looking up at it. Here it comes. Watch his face. Right here.
What?
The way he looked up there. Yeah, there's a helicopter there, dude. That's as far as I went. I haven't seen this much. Oh, Josh Brolin. I think this is what they're doing with this movie. Like the movie we watched.
Yeah.
You would think that would be focused around the crime. This is going to be through the eyes of the girl, that her dad was some bank robber. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't going to be about him. It's about her. He's acting his ass off, though.
Yeah.
Not to peep it.
Yeah, he had so many. It looks like they're gonna cover so many.
Yeah, throughout her life, every time she was able to be around him, maybe, or
original songs by Cat Power, Glenn Hansford, Eddie Vedder, featuring Olivia Vedder.
Ooh, yeah, I almost did it.
Yeah, you know.
And I was like, which one do I do? And that's the one.
Of course, it's that.
Was it on a way? Yeah. I saw something a while back, and you think about this, like, you know, like when they found like BTK or someone, like, and they go in there and it's like this person did all this horrible shit. Did they have kids?
Yeah.
And when you hear interviews with their daughters or their sons, you know, wife, they're like, we had no idea. He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
He was a great father.
Yeah.
I can't forgive him for what he's done, though. Like, what the fuck, dude? Just imagine. One day you find out.
Yeah.
You know, your mom's a serial killer. Your dad's a serial killer.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Dude, I would go to the jail to see him and be like, dude, why didn't you tell me? You know?
Yeah. I could have
Thought we was tight.
Yeah. What the fuck?
They say you got caught because there was a shoe left behind. I would have been there and be like, get your shoe. Don't leave your shoe behind.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep that shit.
No, I'm kidding. But for real, I was like, you never think about that.
Yeah.
Those serial killers had a family, kids, wife.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, some people are like, yeah, he was pretty fucked up, and we didn't let him come to family reunions. And it's like, oh, okay. But the ones that are like, he was a great dad, it's like, ooh, that makes them even creepier.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Anyway.
That's like the Iceman.
Yeah.
Remember that Michael Shannon
Normal
film?
family.
Yeah.
Made his kids breakfast.
Yeah.
Sent them to school and then went and killed people.
Yeah. For the mob.
I mean, it was his job.
Doing the
He's pretty
Lord's
good
work. Yeah. Right.
at it.
Together. This got our boy James
That's why I
McAvoy.
dropped it. I saw his face.
J Max,
Instant
look at
pull.
him. Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna call him J Mac too. You let him know.
All right.
J Mac. You ready, Trav?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Come together. They don't use that song. Doom, 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 doom. Right there, you know?
Yeah.
Oh. Whoa. This like a romantic comedy? Some nice camera work.
Yeah.
They're talking to the camera. Like a mockumentary. I like this British. Or whatever they're going for. Why do they keep talking to the camera? Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Talking on the camera. The movie's only an hour and 27 minutes. Damn. I didn't know that James McAvoy was from Glasgow. I didn't
From
know that.
Scotland?
I didn't know that.
That's crazy,
His
right?
his English accent's pretty good.
Yeah,
His
right.
ability to act like, because you
Yeah.
just think that's something hard to cover up.
Yeah.
But that motherfucker,
He does it, man.
yeah,
Classically trained.
I guess.
Acting.
He's 42, and guess what? He's 5'7". That's what his spread says. Yeah.
He
Imagine.
needs to work on that. But it's like The Office. We're getting The Office an
Is
hour
it
and
like a
30
movie?
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. About two people that are stuck together during the quarantine.
It does look like quarantine because she's talking about the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if anybody's going to do it and it's going to be good, it's going to have James McAvoy in it, which makes sense. And I think that that's going to be really interesting to see. Like,
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see basically a relationship breakdown and you're stuck together. So you have to I mean, they've been,
you got to work it out.
yeah, in theory, they've been together for probably 20 years, 15 to 20 years at this point.
Yeah. But then quarantine hits and you're not allowed to leave your house.
Yeah. So
and
how
you're
do
just
you deal
stuck
with
together?
Yeah.
Remember back when at peak quarantine, dude? Remember back when we were hearing like, and they were a little bit ahead of us, but like the divorce rates in like places like Japan.
Yeah.
The divorce rate was just through the roof, and it's like because people had to stay at home.
Yeah, they had to deal with their shit.
Couldn't get away from every day. Get a little break.
Yeah.
Happens.
So, but
yeah.
But with like a comedy, like a comedy romantic,
a little relief.
Yeah. I'm kind of interested in that, you know? It's kind of and it's a cool idea that they're doing it as a mockumentary style.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. So
Like I'm at the point now where like I almost expect somebody to talk to the camera.
I know, right?
You know?
I talk to it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like in a movie, they should just do that more. Just imagine,
Yeah.
dude, if you're watching an Avengers movie and Captain America's like, he tells somebody like, "Don't come over here, we're gonna hurt you," and then he looks at the camera and he's like, "We're not gonna hurt him," you know? And it's like, what just
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah. What? Hold on.
Then you just move on. You never go back to it.
Yeah. It's
It'd be funny.
past. Yeah.
Plan A.
Is this a war
It
film?
is
Okay, let's do
of the
it.
warrior's kind. It's. I think it's about. I think I watched enough of the trailer to know it was a real trailer and that we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So like 2 seconds. No.
Yeah.
But I think these are people hunting down Nazis after the war
Okay. Okay.
and,
Let's do it.
putting them in their place.
Yeah.
6 feet deep. Trav, you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play.
In the name of the Führer.
He left that part out, didn't he?
Oh. Someone's not turning the other cheek.
Jewish Avengers. He just said it. We're the Jewish Avengers. So I just watched the show on Amazon with Al Pacino that was Jewish Avengers. It was actually pretty good. Hunting? What was it? Hunter?
The Hunters?
I'm looking at Hunters. That was it. The attention to detail here looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I will say
right.
that. And I appreciate that. Like everything on
Yeah.
camera matches the time. It's a cool shot. While they were making the movie, the guy was like, I can't wait to put that in the trailer. Where
Yeah.
it's looking down the steps. I'm a sucker for a good war movie.
Yeah.
And I like that now, like, we've seen, like, we've seen our World War II movies. We're starting to spread out and get into some other wars. But I like this little trickle of films we're getting that's like from a different point of view.
Yeah,
Because we're
right.
always seeing here, it's like it's going to be the U.S. versus whoever.
Yeah.
It's nice to get these other little. Dude, they're going to,
Yeah.
when they decide to make another like Civil War movie, I want Tarantino to make that.
Yeah, for
God
real,
damn,
right?
it's gonna be good, dude. There was a lot of talking during those times. They were like, let's line
Yeah.
everybody up and shoot that way.
Well,
And it's like,
Once upon a time in West Virginia.
yeah,
That's a good name for a film.
it is.
I would watch that for sure. So,
The only reason I dropped this trailer is because it's got a Olivia Munn in it.
All right, let's do it.
I mean,
And Bruce Dern, apparently.
Bruce Dern's in it. Why don't they put?
Like, he's more of a
Yeah.
pull for me.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. It's rated R. The Gateway.
Think we'll see some nip.
Not in the trailer. I don't know. We might get a YouTube titty or two. That's the guy from
Cool
Boardwalk
lens they're
Empire.
using.
It is cool. I like the color. That dude was really good on Boardwalk Empire. It was Nucky Thompson's brother.
He's good at playing the guy you don't know whether to like him, whether to trust him or not.
Yeah, he's done a few good things. Play a cop, like I don't know. He's sketchy. He's shady.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's shady.
He can play morally gray.
Like when you look at him, he's shady. It's like this dude's gonna do. He's gonna be shady. Look, it's shady. But he's a good actor.
Looks like he's trying to channel
Olivia
his
Munn's gonna try to make
Pan.
a serious movie. This is happening. This will be her first, like, she's just always played the pretty girl.
Yeah.
She was in the Johnny Depp movie at the end, like, but she's gonna do an acting role here, and I might have to check it out just because of that. Bruce Dern, he read the script. He thought it was good enough to do.
Digging that beat. Oh God, it's that one girl.
I like the guy there. I don't know who that was, but I mean, that trailer got action packed at the end, didn't it?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And not a speck of Liam Neeson inside.
No, dude, it was just dude like, I'm gonna take the deal, but I don't want to take the deal. He's always shady.
Because this is the only deal I got.
Yeah. How many deals you offering? We only got the one deal, sir. I don't want to take the deal, but I'm gonna take the deal. Yeah. A lot of dealing going on. Meet my son, his name's Dylan.
It's gonna try to have heart where they're like, there's so much dealing and not enough feeling around here, guys.
So much dealing, not
maybe we come together and we do a little healing.
Yeah. And after that, I'll be over in the corner peeling some apples.
And the past becomes the future becomes the past. It'll never end. Vicious cycle.
What? We need to do something?
Yeah, let's see what this.
We need to watch the trailer.
I guess they wrote this movie in like July of last year.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Hang on, guys. Oh, this is the tornado one.
Oh.
Hang on, Blade Disgusting was repping this.
Edward County, seek shelter immediately.
Nah, dude.
Find refuge in the centermost part of your house.
This is how you know it's not in the South. They went inside. If you're in the South, or you go outside, look around. Where's it at? Over that way?
This movie's about like a town that gets hit by a Dureco.
Oh no, dude. There's someone. Watch this. They can't open the door.
Haunted Twisters.
I saw can't open the door, and then Blade Disgusting hit it with some kind of review, and I was like, pasting it. What'd I say? I was like, posting it.
So you know what I'm thinking
now they're stuck
already?
in the house. They can't smash the windows, right?
Dude, is this the next Coherence?
Oh.
Think about it.
Look at this. It's not a tornado.
They got sucked through a dimensional rift or something.
They can't get out. They're stuck in there. What the fuck? They're in hell, dude. That's where they're at. He's drinking Listerine. That was a weird way to end a trailer, dude. Him chugging Listerine. Oh, I gotta check that out.
With a 1,000-yard stare.
That was strange.
That dude's mind was ripped.
What's happening in that room? Dude, coherence? You make me want to watch that again.
Well, I mean, the more the trailer descended, like they're not leaving that fucking room.
And he's like, and then they just seem weird. It's an hour and a half.
Like they're gonna convey the most sci-fi that happens that we're gonna see visually is probably gonna be the storm coming in and out.
Check that out though.
And then it's just gonna be like suddenly snake in the corner. Why is that half-eaten apple there? What?
Too,
water droplets turn to blood. Holy shit, something's on the wall. Why does my wife want to kill me?
There's a weird feeling you get when you watch a movie like Coherence. It's just because it's such a weird movie.
I'm going to be chugging that fucking bottle of mouthwash.
That's weird.
And you hear, and you may ask yourself,
yeah, how did I get here?
This is not my beautiful wife. This is not my beautiful girl.
This is not my beautiful house. How did I? Every days go by.
He starts like dancing like dude from the video,
doing the little.
The same as it ever was. It's the same as it ever was.
Deep House. This had good reviews too. You guys ready?
Yeah.
You ready to try?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. I like the no audio there. They're not gonna let us hear any of the conversation. Nope.
Those drone shots of the woods, man. They never get old. They're always really nice. Yeah, they forget the dialogue track for the trailer.
I think they left it on purpose. Because it's a trailer. And they're like, let's not give them nothing, but give them something. Look at this. Yeah. They found something down here. Oh, interested already. What?
Fortnite, the movie.
Is this some kind of, they roll up on some kind of, why did that dude send them down there, dude? This is old Greg as fuck. Don't go out on Black Lake, dude. He let him go down there. That guy, he was like, yeah, go ahead.
Welcome to Greg's place.
So the guy on the shore that they were talking to, he's got dealings with them, and he brings them stuff, and they let him be. It's kind of like when in House of a Thousand Corpse, when he's like, yeah, take that road up there.
This could be really good.
Sends them to the house where it fucks them up. I'm interested in it.
Oh. Yeah, yeah.
That underwater got me. I mean, we ain't never seen no underwater horror, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know if you count The Abyss or... This is another trailer for Lamb. Is this the same one? They got a new one? Oh, they might have a new one. That was... I've been hearing a little buzz about this movie.
Yeah.
See the buzz online? We watched one for it.
Did we?
Oh, yeah.
I think this is a new one because this one.
Well, it's probably a new. Oh, it's definitely a new trailer, but we've seen one.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. That's why I know about it. Like,
let's check it out, man.
3, 2, 1, play. It's got the chick from Girl with a Dragon Tattoo.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Remember we were talking about it, but it is. This is gonna be a weird movie. I think Pig's gonna be weird too, but. This is gonna be strange. You already know about A24.
Look what they spent their money on.
It's gonna be a fucking. This is different, dude. We didn't see this. I didn't see that scene. Does it have a person's body? Does it have a person's body?
Yes.
Did that guy fuck that goat? Oh,
Dude,
are they gonna do this? This is some Lighthouse shit, y'all. Dude, look at it. This is a completely different trailer, and I couldn't be happier with the choice of music.
Same.
Oh my God. This trailer's like night and day to the other one. They didn't show that it had a human's body. I want to watch this like tomorrow. No, it's his child. Dude, we just saw it walking. Dude, he fucked it. And she's gonna kill him. This is gonna be some mother shit. You know?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fucked up movie.
Looks good,
though.
It does look
good. Is this gonna be about, you know?
He fucked it, dude.
God.
He comes out like a human.
Oh, man. Well, what if it fucked her?
Okay. But how would it give birth?
She gave birth to it.
No, we saw it fall out of the thing.
But it's not
what it seems.
But what if that's not it?
Oh, man, that would be real fucked up if they did that. Whoa, that'd be like next level fucked up.
Yeah.
If they do that, I'll be like, whoa, you have the balls to go there?
I mean, I don't know what A24's obsession with goat imagery is, but whatever, man.
Yeah. I like on the thumbnail, he's like little midsummer goat.
Yeah, right.
Finger in his head.
The fact that they threw Beach Boys in was crazy.
That was nice. That's the real trailer for that movie. I think we watched a teaser because it didn't show any of that shit. Because it was just like she's out there, there's a fucking thing having a baby, she's walking in the woods, you know. It's like, what is this? This doesn't look good. To be honest, it didn't look good then.
Yeah.
Like, and then I see this trailer, and I'm like,
dude,
okay,
this is like Lamb Chop's origin story, guys.
Yeah. Okay. I dropped this. It's a Rick James documentary.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, a bop. No, this is a documentary. Let's check it out, man.
3, 2, 1, play. It's Rick James, dude. It's gonna be good. He fucking lived it. I'd watch a Rick James movie.
Yeah.
Who could play Rick James? Jamie Foxx? Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Oh. He's like, and he plays it like him with the shitty wig. Come on, motherfuckers. You know?
Nice place.
Yeah. He just plays it like that. Man, that would be great. Never happened. Yeah. That was weeks ago. Rick, that was tonight. What? Dude, seeing him on small claims court was fucking. Some guy borrowed his amp. It got stolen. And the amp got stolen and Rick was there trying to get his money back. Because he let a guy borrow an amp. This happened. This was on like Judge Joe Brown or something.
Yeah.
And then the guy was like, it got stolen, all this, and we had a back and forth. And then Rick James was like, Andy's gay. He tried to suck my dick, you know? And it was like, what? And the guy was like, don't say that, Rick. He was like, damn, dude. Rick got his money.
Of course he
Judge
did.
ruled in his favor, and he was very respectful. in court. I saved this trailer for last.
Yeah,
I moved it
ready to
around a
watch
couple times. We got a little Venom action.
Yeah.
From Sony.
Let's
Fuck
fucking do
Sony,
it,
but
man. Yeah. Fuck
I'm gonna
Sony
watch
for
the
sure.
trailer. They got my money, you know.
Yeah, right.
3, 2, 1, play. I think Woody Harrelson's gonna kill it.
Yeah.
Dude, did he go in there just to let him bite him? Like, look at him.
Probably.
Whoa. Tripping out. It's a red one. Well, you got it, brother. Look at that shit. Man, that's cool as fuck. I can't wait. Look at that. No, you crazy, dude. Why are you mad at Eddie Brock? Dude, that's a red one. And he's like, that one's better than me. Woo. There's hope for Sony yet. After watching the last one, that Venom movie, I was like, there's hope for Sony. They can pop out a good movie every now and then.
I don't know how Griffin is gonna feel about it, but I want to be excited for this movie. This Carnage is one of the villains.
Do you think there's
that
too much comedy?
I figured Carnage would never get adapted. I don't. It's not the comedy, man. I don't know. I really. They're a level of character where their shit gets so out of hand that needing an R rating is not necessarily what it needs because they need to be like a shit ton of blood or be ultra gory.
But it was rated R,
but it needs
right?
No, the first one was PG-13.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because remember we covered that it actually went down from being R-rated.
Yeah.
Because that whole sequence where the symbiote's making his way to Eddie, there's that part where Venom's cutting through that village and like he slaughters everyone, but there's not a drop of blood.
Yeah, you just don't see it. You hear it, but you don't see
it. What I'm getting at is that it needs. They're the kind of characters that could benefit from writing where an R rating is not something they need to ride off of.
Yeah.
But when they get to those lines, they can cross them for a second.
A little more Deadpool with R rating, a little more.
Yeah.
You know.
Because Carnage is supposed to be just
PG-13.
Pure fucking psychopath, man. Like he kills on impulse, not for like any sort of self-gaining reason.
Yeah, he's out for himself. It's like, it don't work that way. But I guess it does for them.
Like he's a classic wholesale slaughter.
You want to hear a little?
You know?
So, the 2018 Venom movie, it has a rating on the IMDb. When you go to the new one, there's nothing there. There's no rating yet.
Mm-hmm.
And they're holding back the rating because they know if Trav said that, he was like, PG-13, man. They know if they put that on there, it's like people see that, they're like, what the? It did it again.
And circling around to what I mean by by having
Change.
name drop Griff is we're getting a Venom and Carnage story without the keystone for why they're there, and that's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And that's this franchise is going to continue to slip
that's where it's
because of
hurting,
that.
man.
In spite of it, it's going to always be
what if
stumbling.
Venom shows up in that Spider-Man movie? If it happens, dude, it'd be amazing.
Well, the best thing that could happen for this movie would be with it having the family rating, the PG whatever,
doesn't have it yet, but it's probably gonna be that.
It would be badass if the ending of the film Spider-Man shows up. He doesn't fight. They don't waste the money on it.
That's all we're asking for.
But have it to where he shows up and he's like, "What you guys got to stop fighting, damn it!" Like
he's like, he shows up and he's like, "You need help," and the guy's like, "I got it."
Because it would serve. It would be interesting if that guy, that the ex that he punches at the end there, if they end up having him be the policeman that becomes Toxin, because it looks like it's going to slowly hit off of beats of Maximum Carnage, obviously.
Yeah.
We've got Shriek in there, we've got Carnage, we've got Venom. We have them acknowledging how the symbiote's going to transfer.
That'd be awesome.
And it's going to be crazy if by the end of the movie, not only do we have the comedic aspects of Venom, but we have the parts of Venom that's going to give exposition to like, yo, he's going to be a problem because our species doesn't have to mate to reproduce.
Yeah.
And
I'm excited to see that.
And Carnage is going to give birth to the Toxin symbiote. And then it's going to be weird if they touch around that subject, because that whole thing leans heavily on the social commentary of abortion.
Yeah.
Because Carnage wants to kill it.
Yeah.
And Venom's like, no, man, like, you need to learn how to, like, we're going to pass our knowledge on. It's how that's how our species exists and all this stuff. And like, there's large shit that this stuff could branch off into. And it's going to be interesting what parts they're going to trim down and not fuck with, and where they're going to take it.
All right.
Which, I mean, with it being the kind of film that the Venom film was, I see it going the route that they're probably going to kill Carnage by the end of the movie. There won't be room for him to ever come back.
Yeah.
But
next week we're watching the Suicide Squad.
Yes.
We're finally watching it. It's happening. And I'm excited to see this movie, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a real estate prediction here. I think I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I'm gonna like it. From what I've seen.
If we get unhinged Cena, yes.
Dude, they're making a show with him. You know what I mean? Like, that's how good the character was in the movie. And he's up against, there's some good talent there, but Cena's been killing it.
Yeah.
Well, Cena can do some outrageous fucking comedy, dude.
Yeah. And when you look at him, and when you see that kind of comedy coming out of him, you're like, how?
That like that trailer last week where he's just like this fucking drug addict, dude.
Yeah.
Completely not
movie.
the fucking image of actor who's like of Cena trying to, like,
when
he's
the
not
trailer
representing
started,
WWE
I was like, this
anymore.
is some shit. When I looked at the movie, I was like, this is gonna be some shitty John Cena movie. And I even said it, I was like, they're putting this movie out because he's in the Suicide Squad movie. They're just trying to get,
And by the end, he's talking about sticking drugs
was actually
up his
good.
ass.
The trailer was good.
Yeah. So.
But that's what we're watching. And we'll be back here a week from now to talk about the Suicide Squad.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to get 3 stars. I'll tell you what, if it doesn't get 3 stars, I forfeit my fucking star. That's how confident I am, Trav. Don't let me down. You know?
Oh, just that? I
I'm
thought it
confident.
was. Oh, if you were really confident, you'd put that
My title on the line? Because you know I won the last game.
The podcast commissioner role, my friend.
I don't know about that. We'll have to. We might be able to mock something up.
It's feeling a little totalitarian around here, Adam. That's all I'm saying, man.
Are you gonna cut them and upload them? Are you gonna create the thumbnail?
No, in my utopia, Adam, the episodes will all do this.
You're like, in my utopia, you're gonna do it, but I'm gonna take credit for it.
My name will be plastered over all your work.
A week from now,
you know?
Suicide Squad. I'm gonna pull the trigger.
Yeah. I'm so tired.
Checks in the mail.